live now.
Oh, nice.
Woohoo!
Hey, can you guys hear me? Because I.
Shut up.
I hear
Okay,
Yes,
there we go. I
can
can hear
you.
everybody.
Well, let's start that recording.
I thought it was already going.
That's not recording.
No,
we're
it's
going.
not going. Technically, it's not going to go.
Right now, it's just Twitch, baby.
Yup.
Do we even have people on Twitch watching?
This is an explicit podcast containing filthy language and adult themes like dick and shit jokes. If you're easily offended or have a stick up your ass, this probably is not for you. Guidance is suggested for sensitive types, and occasionally some lights may flash, so if you're prone to seizures and all that, you might want to skip this. And lastly, we don't speak for anyone or any entity. We only speak for ourselves, of course. What follows is opinion based on our individual experiences in the industry. So take that. Ah, God damn it, I fucked it up at the end.
And welcome to our current sort of out for delivery. We have most of our crew here. There is no music because I don't have Jason's phone. So that's on him. I blame him for the opening music.
You should have stolen it. You should have just brought it.
I should have,
And
but
been
I
like,
didn't
the
think
show is
about
more
it.
important than you as a person.
Yeah,
Do you
I
really?
played one song.
Do you really think he
That's what
can go
happened.
without that phone? Like, I don't think he could live without that phone.
I mean, he could if he didn't have a choice.
I think this to him would be a choice. I don't think it would be important enough for him to give up his phone.
So where is Papa Bear today? What's he got going
Well, I'm
on?
going to introduce the people who are here.
Fine.
Quit asking questions.
You can't wait 5 seconds to start
No,
talking
'cause
about Jason. Jesus.
I know. I want to get into it.
Team Mrs. Jason.
We have the handsome Russ over here
Hola.
with his beard. We have Wolf Kid here. He was here
Hello.
before we hit the button.
I was.
Actually, everybody was here.
I was
Yeah.
really proud. Everybody
proud
was
of
here.
The one day Jason and Brian aren't here and everybody's on
The
time.
I
only
know.
person who would be upset by me being my usual 3 minutes late isn't here today, so why would I do that?
I
course-
mean, no
of
keys
course I'm
thrown
gonna
on the
be
floor because no one was going to
early.
care.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I kind of wanted to come today. It was interesting.
Weird, huh?
That was a weird thing to say.
We have over in the corner pouting Fred, Kyle, Craig,
I'm
Ryan.
extremely pouty right now.
I forgot about Craig.
Yeah, I decided
My
to
name's
throw it
Ryan,
in.
by the way. It's not Fred, but
is
that's what I go by.
I literally introduced you as Ryan.
Thank you. I didn't hear that part. So
He was too
We
busy
have our
trying to get
lovely
out of my chair.
guest here, Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey,
He
everybody.
seems pretty excited. He's already waving at the camera.
He's super stoked. Well, yeah, waving at
Yeah,
the
bro, I
microphone.
gotta plug my Twitch stream, dude.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Mayor Bruce over here.
Good morning.
Wasn't 10 minutes late. I was proud of that. And I'm sitting in Jason's chair because he's off at a hotel trying to find another Russ to hug. He is
Well,
looking for you, Russ. I'm
okay.
sure he is.
Is he back in Cincy?
No, not quite to Cincy.
Ah.
But, yeah, he's out looking for
So
a
how-
Russ to hug.
how long is he going to be out of town for? Like,
He's
Until he
coming
gets
back
back.
today.
oh, he's coming back today?
He
Okay.
just wasn't going to make it to here. To the
Oh,
show.
okay. When did he leave?
Yesterday, around when he got off work. Probably around 1
Noon.
or 2.
Yeah.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, dude, that route must take him like an hour.
It's the smallest route in the city.
Yeah.
I tell him that every chance
Well, I
I can.
did Amy's on Saturday, so I can't say
And then he
anything.
argues with me. Amy's route's bigger than his. It's just a lot more walking.
Yeah. A lot more.
So, how's everybody doing this morning?
I'm good.
Ryan has apparently never seen fancy French water before
It's
because
disgusting.
It cannot be fancy water.
He was remarking on Russ's Perrier.
He bought this for $1 in a
As
4-pack. So there's 25 cents each for these fucking things.
It's water. It should be free.
What's Ricky Bobby's nemesis named? And the French dude, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
That was who he was like.
Pierre, was it Pierre or something?
Break it, Froggy.
I don't remember.
But yeah, he drives a Perrier car.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
You spin my caramel macchiato.
He's hilarious. So, all right.
Good radio.
Good
Yeah.
show, everybody.
Lots of energy.
Russ, what's new with you?
Absolutely jacking shit.
I see you're nibbling on a sausage over there.
I'm nibbling on sausage.
You got your sausage and Perrier.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a White Claw?
Yes, and I'm not a fan.
It's just Perrier alcohol.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the alcoholic
Is it?
seltzers.
I love it, dude.
White
You do
Claw?
really?
I was trying to lose
get-
weight, man, so it's like I can still get drunk, man. All right.
I mean, I hear so mixed. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I can't get a good read on
You
what
can't
it
taste
tastes
that. Like it tastes like flavored seltzer water.
It's like
That's
LaCroix,
it.
but with alcohol. And it doesn't
Yeah.
even taste like...
Right.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
There's like no alcoholic taste. It just tastes bad.
What's its content? Like how much alcohol is in it?
It's
like
decent.
a
It's like a
beer,
beer.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a beer. So
How do they cover it up with no flavor? I mean, usually drinks use
It's actually-
sugar, and that's like a
it's interesting. It is
no
some kind of
low
sugar,
sugar or something.
some kind of sugary thing that they
it
do
like
to make the
saccharin?
alcohol. So it's not
All about
vodka.
facts here, people.
Well, it's not like it's not vodka or anything like that. It's actually some kind of weird distilled sugar, basically.
But everybody's getting onto that seltzer water bandwagon. Even freaking Budweiser has a entire line of them out now.
Is it Truly that they do? I don't know.
No,
one
it's
of them.
actually Bud seltzer water.
Bud seltzer water.
Yeah, I
huh?
saw it at K. Rogers
That
yesterday.
sounds disgusting.
Now I can drink Budweiser
Try
and
this.
not get a beer gut. It's great.
It's just that plus alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Splashback.
don't.
Did you just
I've
hurt
never
yourself
had
on a
a
can?
white
No,
claw, but
splashback.
into your eye.
Yes.
Good thing it's just water.
It wasn't last time.
Oh wow.
Too bad it's French water. You're gonna get one of those weird French diseases.
He's gonna start craving crepes.
Yeah, like
I'll take a fucking crepe right now.
like 28 weeks
Kidding
later.
me?
That's the one, right?
Yes.
Where they
And
get
the,
weird French disease, and they
And then the beautiful follow-up 28 days later, I think it was.
you got them mixed around.
Days was
Weeks
first.
and then
Mm.
Yeah.
days.
Then weeks. Where the guy he just ditches his wife and gets in the boat and he's like, oh shit, all the way down the river.
That movie's low-key good.
I like, dude. 28 Days Later is one of my favorite zombie movies ever made.
It's great, especially
amazing.
for its time.
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
there was nothing like it when it came
No,
out.
What was that?
definitely not.
Early
I mean-
2000s, early aughts.
It was
It was probably
2001,
close to
2002.
2000.
Yeah.
I only know because I got a bootleg copy that I still have from Chinatown when I lived in New Jersey. So-
Nice.
There's a piece of music in that movie called "In the House in a Heartbeat."
Is it
It's like one of my favorite.
Is it the one that plays throughout the entire movie over and over again?
No. It's the one that plays when they're in the house towards the end.
Yeah, that's
when
what I'm
they're
talking
in the
about.
army base.
Yeah, that song that plays like 3 times throughout the movie.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's like the
Is it the same song, or do they
yeah,
have
it's
different?
like this. It's just like a techno kind of.
No, that's
Oh.
not. This is a piano.
Oh well, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this song only plays in that part, and it plays at the. There's a very suspenseful part. It's kind of like the finale of the movie,
We're staring out the window.
where like shit is going wrong within the house,
My favorite part.
and the
is at
zombies are
end.
breaking out.
Yeah.
I need to
but
rewatch
there's
that.
no sound. The only sound is just this music playing. Like you don't hear. It shows crazy shit going on, and they're killing people and breaking shit, but there's no.
See, I like
it-
when
it just
movies
plays-
try things like that, where they do like a different ambiance, where they have just music and no sound going, where it changes it up. It's not the same old cliche horror movies.
I like the scene where he's staring out the window though, and he's like, "What is that?" And you just hear boom and breaks through the glass. I'd love that. This movie's amazing.
That's a good movie.
Anyways,
Just to sidetrack back, it was 2002 and 2007 for the release
Ha!
of those two movies.
I figured
Good
that
call.
sounds about right.
2002.
I don't know why you said
Chinatown,
hi.
baby.
Everybody had the same answer.
Oh, I was just
You were-
exclaiming. I wasn't like.
Oh, okay. I was like, you ain't same answer.
He was excited to get it right.
I was happy. I get excited over things like that.
Okay.
It's the little things in life.
Yeah. Anyways,
I gotta say, it's a good thing Russ is here today, because
Wow.
I had the mind that we were gonna be talking about video games all day.
hell
I'm
yeah,
fine with
dude.
that.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say. I
So
think
Isaac,
Russ-
what are you playing?
Oh, dude, I won like 3 ranked games this morning in League of Legends, just stomping his
Ryan,
get
what are you
out.
playing?
Mordekaiser.
So much going for you.
Mordekaiser. Top lane, dude.
The
Gotta
fact that I
carry.
know these.
No, dude, I don't just play that. I've been playing WoW since like 2004.
You're the guy that's been
You're
playing.
still playing.
Still playing.
Oh,
You're
God.
one of the 10 million.
Yeah, dude. I was on Classic WoW. My hunter's like 6 out of 8. Giant Stalker 2 out of 8. Dragon Stalker with Rock Delar.
Okay, I mean you're talking to, recovering WoW addicts here. So
Well, so you remember Rock Delar, the hunter bow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I know.
got that not that long ago. Quest was actually really tough. It was really fun. You could cheese it though. Like you can like duel a warlock and have him put like a rank 1 curse of recklessness on you, so
Mhm.
one of them doesn't fear you.
y'all keeping up with this?
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
dude, I was kind of making a joke about the video. We're like, we have to talk about
I'm
delivery.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we will. I mean, we
We
can talk
don't
about
have
games, but
to.
we'll
Jason's
sprinkle in
not
some
here.
delivery
Or
stuff.
we could just record a whole show about video games and say that's going to be our new podcast.
Yeah,
And,
dude,
and
Jason's not
there's
here to
not
tell
a-
us not to.
It's true. I feel like Jazz is texting him furiously. It's turned to video games already, and with 3 minutes into the show, what do I do?
Dude. There's
know-
a guy at the table is wearing a Naruto shirt. I'm afraid he's gonna start talking about that next.
And there's another guy wearing a Magic shirt. We didn't stand a chance.
And they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
It's just
buddy.
It's out of my control now.
That stepbrother scene. Did we just become best friends?
We're gonna start
Yep.
doing some hand signs soon.
No.
Yeah. That
Fucking
that
copy
fighter,
ninja, the copy ninja over here.
the fighter Israel, whatever his
Xerox?
name is. They call him the style bender. He's like undefeated fighter. And he has like all these Naruto tattoos, and he does like signs. He beat Anderson Silva. He's a He's
Oh, I know
beast.
you're talking about. Yeah. Because McGregor and Cowboy was last night, and McGregor
Yeah.
knocked his ass out.
Dude, that was awesome. I've seen clips of that this morning. That was pretty cool.
I watched. Did you watch the before the pay-per-view, the pre-fights?
No, I don't watch fights. I just watch them the day after.
Watch the
on.
highlights. Saves you 60
we used to
bucks
get
and 4
it's more
hours.
than 60. We used to get those fights with
Is it really?
yeah, that's like $100 for some of them.
Why?
I watched it on Facebook this morning for free.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
it was on Facebook. It's
Well,
not
It was on,
even like I
it was on
had to
Reddit. It was
I-
on.
Yeah.
I used to go to a party that always bought it. And we'd sit there because it
Well,
was
that's
4
different.
hours, and
That's
and
different.
yeah, another delivery guy, go to his house and watch it. But the first fight of the night, because I went out to the little mini Vegas downtown that we have. I can't really
We
say
have
the
a
name of
mini
it.
Vegas downtown.
Yeah,
You mean the one?
I could say 4th Street because everybody has a 4th Street.
Oh,
But yeah, everybody has a.
Take it off, Bruce.
You go, Bruce. Slower,
Anyway.
slower.
He loves tuna.
Oh yeah.
Nice shirt, dude.
I like that. Just yeah.
Oh,
look
dude,
down.
underneath
Let me-
this though, I got
He's got
Nice.
layers.
got layers of
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I did do that on purpose. I like this shirt.
It's a I mean it's a good
It's
shirt.
comfortable.
It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So I don't know if Jason wants me saying this or not, but speaking of all these fights and pay-per-view stuff, we were at the flea market last week.
Nice.
There was a guy who tried selling him some free stream stuff, saying it was a Cody-based program, but it wasn't going to act like Cody and all this stuff
Was it
like
the same
that.
Cody guy? Because he had
No.
dealings
Okay.
with
It
the.
was a different Cody
the
guy.
Cody guys rotate out.
Yeah.
What happened with that computer thing that Jason bought at the flea market?
That computer thing that Jason bought at the flea market.
more
The
specific.
the arcade machines.
No, not the arcade machines. There was some video game or some game machine that he was bought at the arcade or at the flea market that was like supposed to give him.
You're not talking about like a
streaming
Pi or
videos
anything.
no, it wasn't the Raspberry Pi.
Are you sure it's not
Like
the?
the console
Yeah.
looking thing.
Well, he bought that on eBay, didn't he, or on Amazon?
Amazon.
Doesn't Soldier Boy make something like that?
Yeah.
Who's Soldier Boy?
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier
a-
Boy.
He has
You
his
don't-
own
you don't
video
remember
game
Soulja
system?
Boy?
He had
Yeah.
that
Guys,
song
it's like a
called
ras-
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
It still doesn't ring a bell.
You don't
That's about
remember
it.
Dude, that was like the most popular song ever.
Everything you
like
need to know about it.
2006.
Rock
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
yeah,
Soulja
for
In
about 6 months.
2006,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they still play it at
It's a
most
rap
sporting events.
song.
Yeah, I still hear it played at like
NBA games and shit like that will play it constantly.
If
It's
you
okay.
say so.
Fred keeps track of it.
It gives me terrible memories.
But is it the one with all the arcade games? Because that's the only weird console I know he has. Because it's like an emulator for all these old arcade games on one system.
That might be what it was. That I just remember he said he had bought it from the flea market and he had argued with the guy, but he argues with everybody. So.
Right. I played it once. It's pretty fun. It has Gauntlet 2 on it.
Nice.
He has a bunch of all of the emulated games on
Yeah.
it now. Before he left yesterday, he started
does
putting
he-
like N64 games
Oh,
and
that'll be fun.
Where does he keep all this? Because I've been in his house and I
This
have not
one's-
seen a single system.
Actually,
this
I don't
one's
know
in
where
his
it is.
room.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
You
No,
haven't been
but-
invited up to the Love Dungeon yet.
So he
Or down.
Or down.
There's one in the basement, too.
That used to be my love dungeon.
I know.
You and the
I'm aware.
spiders.
I was
Yeah,
there.
Just don't go there with the black light.
No.
Oh, okay.
That chair used to be down there.
Nice.
I wasn't gonna tell him that. I was just letting it go.
let me sink in a little bit.
Rub around in
That was my
Like a-
computer
like a-
chair for
I'm
like a
surprised
year.
you
Just
didn't
let
smell
that
the-
sink in.
Surprised you didn't smell
Yeah,
the
I'm
chlorine
sure it
when
already
you sat in
has,
it.
dude.
Don't worry, he's already rubbed it off by all the times he sat in it since then.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't think he sits in it naked anymore.
I think rubbing it off was what he was doing in that chair.
All right.
On that note, good show,
Thanks,
guys.
Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat your sausage.
No, but I thought you guys would be proud. He
did.
did not have a fight with this person.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I don't know anything.
Well, he is getting
I don't
older.
believe it.
He asked a bunch of questions, disagreed with
lie.
him.
Hold on. Legitimate questions or Jason questions that usually wants to follow up an altercation?
What's a Jason question?
He's leading them.
He knows
into
the
an
answer to.
altercation.
He's just waiting for you to fuck up.
Okay, well that makes sense.
He kind of cut off the guy from his spiel because he kept saying the same thing just in different words, as if Jason wasn't going to understand it because it was technological.
Andy looks
So
the way
I was
he
the
looks.
one standing there going,
Did Pappy have his glasses down to
There,
really
there
sell
is,
the?
there is nothing that Jason loves more than somebody talking to him like he's a dummy.
yes.
That's true.
So he started
That's why he
throwing his
invited me on the
words
show.
back at him and, letting him know he understood these words, knock it off.
No, these are cinnamons. These are cinnamons.
Did some research, went home. Next day I came home and goes, yep, we have a Fire Stick now. Let me show you. Look, I broke it. That shit they were trying to sell me, it's on here now. I
well,
got it.
yeah, it's you just jailbreak it.
So there's a big flea market near here.
Yeah, I know.
And there's always people peddling those jailbroken sticks that,
Bro,
that they charge like $20 to do 5 minutes of work on.
I got
this
something
was
cool
they
at
wanted
that
a
flea
box
market.
that they wanted you to pay like almost $200 for to get your local stuff streaming, as well as like some other stuff that you could stream. But don't worry,
But
there's
it's all
backup programs if one goes down, so you'll have it for a while.
The only, nah, not
Jesus
even for that. I was gonna say the only way I do that is if it's porn, but you get porn for free right now anyway.
Yeah, who
But
pays
when
for
he
that
did
shit?
this, he got all the pay-per-view channels. Is where that came
That's
from.
still a lot of work.
We were just talking about somebody we work with who probably
who probably only owns physical copies of porn. He's paid
Wow.
for every.
That's
Yeah.
not true. I got a birthday present once from a ex-buddy of mine, but bought me the
Ex-buddy?
buddy of mine, he bought me the Game of Bones porn parody.
Huh.
It was a Game of Thrones porn parody.
Well, I guess if you actually like want to sit through like the full, 4 hour
I gave it a
bang session.
It was only about an hour and a half. It wasn't a long movie.
Yeah,
And
but
it-
I mean, most of the time you just skip towards the end, anyways. I mean, you gotta see how it ends. I mean, because if it's not good at the end, why even bother watching it?
well, that's why I like the internet, because it gives you those ups and downs where you see the traffic, where you see where the good parts are in the video.
Porn social media.
So there's a peak. Let's see what that one was. Yeah,
Well, that's like,
Can people upvote certain segments?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, but I don't know how it works. But
I think there's a Pornhub comment.
pull up your favorite.
subreddit.
Pull up your favorites.
Probably.
I think there is. Hold on, I want to verify this real
Why
quick.
wouldn't there be?
Pornhub is like a social media website now. You make a profile, you like add friends, subscribe to people.
You actually can do that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Share
I
to-
don't know
share
who
to
wants
Facebook.
to do that on.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
a share button.
Like
There's
each
a
other's
subreddit
posts.
for Pornhub comments.
So is it like crazy shit or
yeah,
is
it's
it
just
like
funny shit, Like somebody was like, I remember seeing one that was like, "Hey, anybody know how to beat this level in Red Dead Redemption?" And some dude commented. I mean, it's becoming like a place where we're just, I don't know.
It's the new Reddit.
Shit's weird, man. Life is weird
Yeah,
in this
embrace it.
era of like sharing everything and talking to everybody and being able to like contact anybody at any given moment. I don't know. It's weird.
none of those platforms know what their all their people want, so they're like, well,
Well-
let's add social media to
I'm
it.
pretty sure Pornhub
Nobody
knows what their
wants
people
social
want.
media to combine with their porn.
No,
Everything
somebody
that social
does,
media
'cause it's working.
disallows porn. Everything that's porn disallows social media, and now they're like bringing the shit together. Why?
Here's my theory. They watched the episode of The Office where Ryan makes the website that's a social media thing where you can buy paper at the same time.
Yeah.
It was an all-inclusive social media experience. So I think Pornhub is going to follow the same pattern and do an all-inclusive.
That's what you want. You want to be sitting there watching your favorite porn, and your mom pops up on the social media
Right.
thing. It's like,
Hi,
take
honey.
out the trash.
Speaking of which, we were just watching a Dr. Phil episode where a dude was, he was
Who's we?
adopted. Me and my wife.
Did she choose this, or did you?
No, we watched Dr. Phil because it's hilarious.
Because
I
I'm
mean,
getting
honestly,
real mixed signals with you right now with Kakashi and Dr. Phil.
My favorite thing about Dr. Phil is like whenever he's about to go to his break, he'll do this weird thing where he stares at the camera and he's like, and we'll get back to that right after the break. Like every
With the heavy
time.
breathing?
with the heavy
he's-
breathing and the
he's-
pointing.
He's staring at his reflection in the camera.
Yeah, and he really does. It's the
looking at
weirdest
himself.
fucking thing. But anyways, speaking of like your mom popping up on something, this dude got adopted when he was like real little.
Okay.
And the mom reached out to him, and they ended up banging at a hotel. The dude and his mom.
This is essentially the new Jerry Springer.
What?
Without fighting.
That's
I
not
mean,
fun.
Dr. Phil's usually like troubled kids, and
That is funny. That's hilarious.
No,
he banged his mom, and he was down
Fun
with it.
too. Fun to watch.
She was like, I started developing feelings. I'm like, yeah, you're his biological mom. That makes sense to me, but you don't bang the kid. It's just so
I'm sure
fucking
it's
weird,
staged.
man. No, this was the real
Dr.
thing. She went to jail
Dr.
for 5
Phil
years.
is a little bit less. Yeah.
She went to jail for 5 years. That's
I
where
mean-
that.
I
That's where
mean,
the
like-
chick, the Cash Me Outside girl.
Yeah.
That's where she came from.
Yeah.
Oh, don't bring her up.
remember
PewDiePie
that.
does a whole series on like troubled kids of Dr. Phil.
Trouble kids. I was one.
You watch
Judge
PewDiePie?
Chauvrin.
Yeah, I'm enjoying PewDiePie. He grew up with his
dude,
audience.
Come on, PewDiePie is classic, man.
Yeah, he grew up with his audience.
Yeah, he was classic 15 years ago when he started streaming, and
Hasn't
once he had his-
changed since.
well, he had his
No.
racist tirade or whatever it was that sent him out for like a year or two where he couldn't stream,
Yeah, I remember that shit.
and then
I remember when that guy was like, went on that shooting spree and was like, subscribe to PewDiePie.
yeah,
You heard that shit?
Yeah.
There was all those memes. It was like Hitler killing people, and he was like, subscribe to PewDiePie.
yeah.
Oh, it was funny.
Oh.
There he is.
I mean, I don't watch him, but he's fucking famous. He's a millionaire.
Got one of the most punchable faces on the internet.
He
Very
does.
punchable.
He's like
And you know you'll never reach that level of like viewership or money or anything.
Who do you
and
think's
it's
more
just
famous now, him or Ninja?
Ninja?
You think Ninja
Yeah.
just because of how popular Fortnite was?
Yeah, but I mean he got
Ninja,
wrong
you
when
can just
Minecraft
draw a
was-
cartoon face and add blue hair, and every kid in the world will be like, "Oh, it's Ninja."
Yeah,
That's true.
That's absolutely
true.
100% true. God, fuck that.
So is
guy.
he the
If-
millennial
if,
ninja?
If he was wearing that, except the hair was blue, that would be Ninja.
You ain't fucking lying.
Yeah, you're not lying at all. That's
Don't do that to
100%.
Kakashi.
I know,
Kakashi's a
seriously.
fucking fantastic character.
He was a great sensei.
He was a great sensei. Dude, I'm tearing up. Stop.
Not really sure what y'all are talking about.
Come
but
we.
the nerdery's getting a little heavy in here. Russ, will you
Oh, it's gonna
regale
get
us
worse.
with some tales of menhood to
Yeah, how many
to bring
chickens have
these
you-
fellas back?
Has
into
your
the-
wife? How many chickens has your wife killed lately?
Well, we haven't slaughtered lately. They've just recently started laying.
It's winter. They're all dead.
No, they're not all dead. But
They looked like
we
they
don't
were
have-
dying when I was up there
We don't
last.
have a meat flock right now. But
They don't have a what?
we don't have our meat flock going right now.
Meat flock?
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
explain that. What's a meat flock?
It's your flock that you use specifically for meat. It's what you raise to slaughter.
Oh.
Did you not have them separate from the non-meat flock?
Well, yeah, that's why we don't have it anymore because we butchered.
Oh.
How do you know?
Yeah, which ones do you like?
Can
Sorry,
I
Frank.
guess
Today's
if you
your day.
raise them separately, you know. I was thinking maybe raise them all and then pick the fattest ones to be your meat flock. But if you raise
Well,
them,
you can do that,
you
but generally
feed 'em-
you
you
want to
feed the
feed the meat
ones
flock
more.
more.
Hold on.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
confused. Did we stop talking about porn? Because everybody's over here talking about a meat flock.
He started. I think he was trying to get us off the porn. side.
This is a metaphor.
talking
Isaac.
about
We're
meat
still
flock.
talking about porn.
My head's
There's
never.
a lot.
Man.
We could just call this a meat flock right now. Stop.
Right.
Stop.
Sausage
Stop
party.
Sausage,
Sausage party.
We
We're
don't.
gonna start calling it a meat flock.
I think I found the title of our show.
Meat flock.
Five guys,
Meat
one
flock's a good.
sausage.
Meat flock's a good title. It might get tagged though. I don't know.
That's killing me, dude.
To be fair, if we upload the video to Pornhub, they wouldn't even. They would just agree it right away.
Yeah, dude.
Title and meat flock.
That's gonna be my new.
How much does it cost to
that's gonna
upload
be
a
my new
video to
character name
Pornhub?
on WoW. Meat flock.
Be a great warrior.
Oh, it's gonna be my warlock name.
How much does it cost to upload a video to Pornhub?
Pretty sure it's free.
Why
Jazz,
would you
find
ask
out.
me that?
I don't know.
It's
I'm not
free,
sure I wanna
Ryan. Why would it
ask that
cost
question
money?
on my
I don't know.
If you
Porn site.
upload like good new porn,
I wonder, like, what the difference, like, money-wise, between being a Twitch partner and being a Pornhub partner is.
Pornhub pays you a flat rate. I think it's like $600.
And Twitch pays you by the subscriber.
I'll take it.
How do you know that,
pretty
Bruce?
Good.
Have you
Well,
checked?
Really, I
The
could never
videos
be
he's
in a
uploaded.
Pornhub video, but
You could
know,
be.
friends of friends.
The answer's right in front of you, dude.
You've seen Ron
Meat
Jeremy.
flock.
Come on.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Well,
You
Ron,
could
What's
be
the
the
point
next
of
Ron
me
Jeremy.
for?
Ron Jeremy had something I don't.
First of all, he wasn't always big, okay? Not his.
Ron
you know,
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Probably. It's like a Cadillac.
I pointed at you because he said
Have
the
you
answer's
seen
right
that
in front
movie,
of you.
One-Eyed Monster?
No,
Have you heard of it?
no.
Okay. Has anyone else here heard of One-Eyed Monster?
You gotta be more specific.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
Have you been?
metaphor
the
for
entire-
penis.
Have
the
you been in my
entire-
Google search history?
Yes. The entire premise behind this is that Ron Jeremy is out to shoot a porno movie. He dies, and his dick evidently is an alien.
Oh,
And it detaches and starts killing people to try and find its next host.
well,
I
that sounds
I wanna see
amazing.
it.
I want to.
I've seen that anime. It's called Parasite.
Yeah, buddy. Where the bitch eats the dude. Yeah.
No.
Pornhub has an
It's a
actual
good anime.
amateur program, so it's free for you to upload your video to try
Oh,
to start
okay.
earning money
So
with
we can
it.
start uploading this to
Right
Pornhub.
now. Good, man. Oh
We've
my
given them
God.
enough. Not that they need any more advertising.
Well, of course they need advertising.
Meat flock.
That's
so-
unintentionally the funniest thing I've ever.
Yeah, no.
So that's an actual agricultural term.
Yes.
Crack an egg.
So I could say that phrase to any farmer, and they wouldn't even smile.
How's
Yeah,
your
they would-
How's
that's
your
a
meat
phrase
flock
that
doing?
everybody- right? Have you separated your meat flock?
Tough.
Of course, it's almost the end of January. Why wouldn't I have already?
That's too good, dude.
I'm gonna go into the local Rural King and just yell meat flock and see how many people come up and talk to me.
There's this lady on my primary. The street. You know I'm talking about. She's got all these chickens and stuff. You know.
Okay.
The next time I
It's a
see her,
fairly rural route.
the next time I see her, that's the number one question that's
You're
gonna
gonna
be
ask
on
her
my lips.
if she has a meat flock.
How's your meat flock doing this time of year?
Oh, I see you have chickens.
Uh,
Do you have
you
a
know,
meat flock?
Are
A
they
lot-
part of your meat flock?
A lot of folks usually raise a meat flock during the warmer months.
I mean that would make
Does
sense.
the smell
All right.
bother them?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and have this conversation without
This is too
Lance and
much.
Russ.
I know this
Ru-
is too
laughing.
much. I'm sorry.
So anyway, what were you saying? Y'all hadn't set aside chickens to be raised to be eaten, since
Well,
we're
no,
not going to use that
because-
phrase for at least 3
What,
sentences.
meat flock?
Damn it!
Oh god.
No, we don't have our meat flock going right now. We'll probably start one up here in the next few months.
Do you
We're
have a
also
separate?
gonna get some turkeys.
Do you have a separate pin for them or something?
So
I'll just build
what are
another
the
one.
Just building them.
I used to have one, but we tore it apart to build other things.
aside from that, the purpose is just for eggs.
Well, right now they're freeloading bitches that don't produce anything because it's too cold.
Those assholes.
Yeah, since the weather changed, they stopped laying, but now they started. We got one yesterday.
Nice.
You know you
So-
can't use that term around Avery.
What?
What?
Freeloading bitches.
I have my own
Jeez.
place.
Triggers him.
So they don't lay eggs when it's cold.
Yeah, weather changes can make them stop laying. They
So,
have to give them more
but it's a
protein.
day-to-day thing. It's not
Yeah.
like it's winter. We're gonna stop laying eggs
Well,
for 3 months.
they also go
It
through
just
a
depends
molt
on what
that
the
they'll
weather
stop.
is.
When the fuck did we get on chicken talk?
I'm
Who
just
are
curious
you
why
actually-
you don't keep a
It's-
little area in
it's
your
a
house
business we
somewhere
aren't a
that you
part
can
of.
bring the chickens in so they'll
Yeah.
keep laying eggs.
Wait, you bring the chickens into the house?
So they keep
We're,
laying
we're not
eggs.
barbarians.
Free eggs.
Well,
I don't eat
Diseases.
eggs.
What?
What?
I don't fucking eat eggs.
Eggs are
The
gross.
fuck.
Eggs are delicious.
I'm so sick of
What
goddamn
is
eggs.
wrong with both of you all?
Okay,
Meat flock.
dude,
I'm
they-
sick of eggs. I want my meat flock.
they were laying 2 dozen a fucking day for a while there. You get really sick of eggs really quick.
I would never get sick of eggs. I would be like Gaston in that motherfucker.
Dude, we
One meat flocks like that.
how the fuck
I
do you know
think-
these songs?
It's Disney, man. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't
Look
know
at 'em.
Beauty and the Beast?
Serious. Oh my God! Put your hand. You're.
See,
Hi.
his sidekick was named LeFou,
Oh, that's such a
which
good
you
movie.
think is just a name, but it's actually French for the fool.
Yeah.
Which is what he is.
Yep.
Anyway, he eats a bunch of eggs because he's a big.
Throws them up.
Don't you
burly
remember?
dude.
Somebody like did the math on his egg.
Yeah.
Egg
And
consumption.
it was like he would be like responsible for a worldwide egg shortage within a year.
He's a big guy. He needs it.
Well, apparently all he needs to do is hook up with Russ, and he'll have all the eggs he wants.
And
Yeah,
all,
dude, we've
all
been
the
through
So
meat
what do
too.
y'all do? Y'all sell them or?
Throw them at
Give them the
cars.
fuck away if I
Like, throw 'em
can.
in cars.
Throw them in the woods.
Okay, so dumb
tried
question,
burning the
but
eggs.
if you have chickens that you're not eating and you're not eating the eggs, why do you continue to keep that chicken?
You have to ask my wife.
Oh, okay.
So sentimental.
I asked my wife the same question about my dog, and she just. I'm just kidding. It doesn't
She
lay
says-
eggs. You
she
can't.
She says it's my dog.
Yeah.
It's about the exact same point of having a cat or having dogs. They're just there.
Like Ron Swanson, you have a cat, and cats are useless.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, pretty much.
outside pets.
Yeah, that's more or less what they are.
My cat's awesome. Oh, there you go. Yep,
God, look how handsome he is.
he is, man. It's just
If you say so.
look right here, guys.
You know,
this
he's a
this
little
is the perfect
effeminate.
male specimen. You may not
It
like
is the perfect male specimen.
Then why does the beast beat him in unarmed combat?
Because he's
Because the
magical.
beast is
He's a fucking
giant-
magical
giant
beast.
fucking monster.
Yeah.
Then,
the whole
then
time
he
I'm
is the ideal specimen.
I mean, real talk. The whole time you're watching that movie, you're just like, man, you got like 4-inch long claws.
There's
Wolverine,
no way
that motherfucker-
Gaston could beat you in a fight.
You remember there's like
you're
a
8 feet
cinematic
taller
where
than him.
Rengar just jumps on this bitch and starts just clawing her chest.
Yes.
I was like, why don't you just Rengar that bitch and just you know.
I like when Gaston literally pulls off a probably 200-pound piece of granite and tries to beat the beast with it. Like, just snaps it off
Now,
the
hold
tower.
on. There is a point during this
That was
scene where, with
badass.
one arm, he lifts a bench with 3 chicks sitting on it.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
he is clearly
He is strong.
Clearly
preternaturally
also-
strong, which is what happens when you eat 70-something eggs a day.
Okay, we need to put this to the test. You got me.
What?
For your cholesterol.
On a scale of
Well,
1
what if
to
I just
Gaston, how many eggs do you produce?
That's just pure protein if we take the yolk out.
When they start laying again, we'll experiment.
Let's
we'll
do it,
let you
dude.
do it.
Just pour all the egg whites in it.
If you can drink them,
Oh.
go for it.
Let's do it, man.
I've also seen a video similar to
I'm
that.
ready.
It's not egg whites, though.
We're not talking 2 girls,
We're
1
talking
cup
about
here.
Pornhub again.
Yeah, we are.
You know, drinking 30 egg whites isn't going to just turn you into Gaston.
Well, what if
right?
it did though? Have you
wants
tried?
to-
Have you
he
tried?
wants-
The
Fair-
pop.
I've
I mean,
not
look at the
tried.
man.
I know.
What if I just like instantly had a
What's
tunic
with the
on
shirt?
and,
Where
like-
can you buy a shirt that has a collar sticking out of it like that? That is also one piece
I'd like to
and goes down your body with
It's
a belt
no,
that
it's
is
a
taller than your
tunic.
head.
It's a tunic.
Yeah, it's literally it's a
That is
He's
tunic.
got
100%
pants on.
a dress.
He's got pants on.
Link
What's the
does the
purpose
same
of the
thing,
belt?
don't he?
Exactly, he does.
I guess
Link
he does.
wears the same thing.
It's a
I mean,
tunic.
to be fair, it's like my
It's just
shirt's
green.
a tunic
Never
technically
trust a
right
dude in a
now.
tunic.
Link is
though.
an elf, though. Like, they look like they belong in
No one
that
ever
type
said
of
that he was an
wear.
elf. He's
he
a
should
Hylian.
be wearing.
That's true.
He's a what?
He's a Hylian.
He has a point.
Hyrule. Hylian.
Hylian.
Hylian. Whatever.
Hyrulean.
Hyrulean. Hylian. Hylian. Is there really
Anyway,
like
he's a fucking
Isaac
elf.
just made
Let's
the
move on with the show.
dictionary, I do believe.
just
A
saying?
Hylian.
A alien?
Hylian.
Then what is Tingle?
An abomination.
Fucking weird. I don't know.
What is Tingle?
Tingle is a
You know,
small
what
man,
my
a
penis
very
does when I
The
pee.
pink cheeks.
he's a very small man with a mustache who dresses in tights.
Yeah, he's got
Oh.
the pink cheeks
And
and,
he
he
dances.
floats. He
We
floats.
told you to stay off those drugs, man.
That
I
aloe.
thought you
It's
were
the
referring
aloe.
It is the
to
aloe.
the literal fairy that follows Link around
no, that's
for
Navi.
entire
Navi.
games, because that's a fairy. Fairies go with elves. Accept it. Link's an elf.
Where's your aloe water, by the way?
I drink it all. What do you mean? I
Okay.
keep that at home.
I'll give you. Whatever.
This is a weird argument. Link is not an elf.
He's not. They never specifically.
He wasn't given one
Okay,
at birth.
He just has identical features to an elf and is otherwise the name an elf.
Hylian.
You could
Right.
just a quick Google search will fix this if anybody wants to get their
Tell
It
me
hands.
is Link an elf.
At
We
any
all
point,
know what it's gonna say. Link is a Hylian.
Or Hyrulean.
Hey Ryan, why don't you search that on Pornhub?
I
I
bet
think
you.
I'm
that's
can
where
find
he's getting the
Currently
wrong
downloading a
answers.
video right now. I can't
Rule,
search.
rule 34. Dude.
There, right. There
Yeah,
are
right.
at least
Yeah,
20
there's-
videos on there of Link banging the princess. So
or the
Oh,
princess
boy, is
banging
there.
Link.
Those weird CG videos.
one of them probably involves Navi.
Both are good.
And it's like underneath, it's like you won't last 5 minutes playing
Right.
this game.
And there's like WoW music playing in the background. I'm
Come
like, what?
play, my lord.
Who is this?
Challenge.
Who
Challenge.
clicks on- Ryan is the one who clicks on that. Now I understand why those ads exist.
It's like some chick with just huge rat going, "Come play, my lord."
right.
I have one every time.
Do those games even exist, or are they just viruses?
They're probably just.
It's a. Hi.
Sentence that somebody typed
No.
In
10
August,
years ago.
Good. It's never been.
Okay, Jazz. Now find me a sentence on the internet that says Link is an elf. Hylian.
Elves are not in any Zelda game. Ooh.
He's a
Ooh, Bruce
fucking
does not
elf.
like to lose.
That
He's
is
an
from-
elf. He has pointy
That
ears. He
sentence-
shoots a bow. He has his own fairy. He's a fucking elf.
do elves typically have fairies?
That sentence
don't
from
know.
Zelda Universe Forum.
It's
That's-
also 2010.
That sounds pretty legit.
Zelda's been around for 20 years longer than that.
Oh well.
Are you saying Zelda's species has changed over the past 20 years?
Zelda and Link are not necessarily the same species.
I think I'm garnering more support with every
So,
sentence that comes out of your
yes.
mouth. I should have been a politician. Link is not.
Depends on what your definition of is.
Oh,
I mean, even Wikipedia has it on here as him being a Hylian, not an elf.
Okay, yeah, and Wikipedia is a
You wanted another source.
I've had this
Wikipedia
discussion.
said it's
A
source.
Wikipedia
Is Link
only.
an elf? If not, why the ears? The
Right.
Hylians, also known as
Hylians.
Hylia people.
Hylia.
I can't pronounce them right. I'm in this chair. I'm not allowed to pronounce words right.
No, you
I
might
gotta-
actually be saying it right. I'm just saying it the other way because Isaac said it that way too. So
The Hylians. I'm sorry, the Hylians.
The
I'll do
original
it
race of
Isaac's way.
Hyrule.
It could be Hylian because it is Hyrule.
it's Hyrule. How could it,
It
not?
does say that physically,
long Y.
Hylians resemble other races, but it's not an elf. They
Okay,
resemble
and
other
I'm
races.
saying if they're the same physically, then it doesn't matter what word you
No,
call
it
them.
does
they're still
matter.
An elf.
I don't
does
think
matter.
any of this
No,
matters.
Canonically, it
ever.
does.
Absolutely doesn't. We haven't said one thing about delivering this entire show.
I did kind of tried to.
He went
steer
there
it.
once, and
And
then he
then-
sidetracked.
It wasn't me that sidetracked.
Who brought this try hard here?
I gotta be honest, like I'm kind of stoked we have a substitute on for the first time because none of us have stories anymore.
Oh, I got
And
it. Oh,
I
man.
know, I'm sure I remember those days because I would have more stories than I could remember.
Well, I used to be at a better station that gave me more
And
stories.
anymore, it's like every day is just.
We'll start here with a certain person that's been in charge. We'll call him Sam for now. Sam is a dick.
Is this your old
and,
boss?
he not really. I don't know. Is he? Whatever. Anyways, he's a dick.
He's a person.
And technically, I'm not on the schedule on Tuesday, the day after a holiday.
Nice.
Huh.
And I got about 4 subs under me working. So of course, who was like, "Hey, just stay home and file a grievance and get paid for the next 2 days." And
Especially-
that's what I did last time, and I got paid for it. I was like $150 for not working.
This holiday sucks too. Coming up,
How can you
Martin
do
Luther
that?
is a bad
Oh
holiday. to
man,
work
last
after.
year. Okay, here we go. Last year, day after Martin Luther King Day, 3 subs had refused to go back out and help City
Nice.
when on Amazon Sunday because we don't have to.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to. It's crossing crafts.
Is that a thing y'all had been doing previous to
No.
that, or were they just like
They
we're
were
so
just like, well,
short-handed?
yeah, we're shorthanded, so
Okay.
you guys need to go take it. And I guess 3 of our subs were like, no. And,
as they are wont to do.
unfortunately, this is the first time that something actually got done about something that somebody did wrong. The day after Martin Luther King Day, this motherfucker sends these 3 subs home. And we end up
remember
splitting
that.
4 fucking routes the day after a fucking holiday.
Mhm.
It was
Nice.
a nightmare. I mean, I didn't get done till I think it was like 9:30.
I remember those days.
That dude doesn't care
Like, my mom
about
works with
anybody
me, by
else's
the way.
problems.
My mom's also a sub at our station.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And,
I guess interesting.
I should have said that.
Yeah,
That's an interesting family.
yeah. My mom's cool as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
they started.
I mean,
they
that's-
started about the same time.
About 3 months
Yeah.
away from each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
I actually started on her birthday. It was kind of weird.
Did y'all take the test together?
No, I was still working at Chewy's.
Mom, what's the answer to 4?
Yeah,
Mom!
yeah, right,
Look
dude.
at all-
My mom. Can you please come help me get my stuff out of my LLV? Like sometimes I'm just
You
like,
can't say
dude.
no, can you?
I can't, but I do.
No.
I do.
It's his
That
mom.
would suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to work with my mom as a sub.
No,
Uh,
my
I'd be
God.
like, all right, I'm going
she
home.
cra-
She'd be like,
she
no,
cracks
you're
me
not.
up, dude.
I,
She
said,
is-
I still have an hour left on this
Yeah.
route. You're not
As-
going home.
as
That's
a-
exactly what happens a lot. That happens a lot.
As it goes up to his union steer,
She's
I
right. Oh,
gotta
yeah.
file a
it's-
grievance on my mom, man.
Yeah. She keeps telling me to grab this stuff, or she's gonna like withhold my allowance. My allowance, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, my mom was like in tears that night. Like we were all just so angry. I remember Betsy. Remember Betsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like crying. She was like we were just all so angry. And that was like when what's her name first started. Like that was like her first day, I think. And she was already about to fucking like lose it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she was.
The nice thing about being that new is that there's no pressure because you know,
It's
like
fucked.
you have the least responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
so nobody's expecting you to carry your own weight yet.
That was brutal, man. That was like 2 weeks they were
They
suspended.
just want you to come back.
And the dude
That's
who
all.
did that, like,
make
he
it
doesn't
back.
care about
No.
the people.
No.
He cares about the business. And that's it.
Well, he did a good job during Christmas. He did a pretty good job. Although, like, once again, we were doing this crap where we were doing this stag delivery 2 hours before, 2.5 hours before we
Mhm.
come in at like 5 a.m., 5:30. And I remember that really crazy Monday we had. Y'all remember? It was like 2
After
weeks
Christmas?
it was before Christmas. It was like a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a Monday, and it was
Okay.
like
And
I
it
had
was
365 packages just on my
far
route.
and
Yeah.
away the worst day
Worst
I've ever
day.
had on the route I'm on now.
We got through it, but it was tough, and I had to go help my mom actually. So I got home, like, she was like, "Can you come help me get these packages delivered?" Because I just went and did my route. I got done with my mail at noon,
Yeah.
and then I didn't get done with my packages till 8:30.
Wow.
It literally took me almost 8 hours to deliver all 300 and something of those packages.
I,
See,
I remember that day.
That was nuts.
At least your family members are fellow carriers. Like we have had carriers that had janitors and clerks that were off that day come out and help their husband or wife deliver the packages out of that truck.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's nice of them. I'm a little jealous that they have
Should
people
call
to do
my
that.
wife, be like, "Hey, get in the truck, woman. We're going. Get in, loser. We're going to deliver packages." I was like, Mom and them were, they always go out and smoke, and they were yelling for Chris to come over there,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Get in, loser. We're getting cancer."
Oh God. Ugh.
It was a night. That Monday was a nightmare, though. But yeah, that was. She
That was a
she
bad day.
texted us that night. She's like, "Everybody needs to be back here at 5:30." I didn't get home till after 10.
Yeah.
I was like, am I not entitled to get some sleep? And then they made us do that stack delivery crap. They take it's like how we had it at first. It was we come in at 6:30. We take 40 parcels
Yeah.
from the heavy routes,
Yeah.
get them delivered, be back by 7:30, and everything was gravy. Well, they did this stack delivery bullshit where they make routes, and it would be like packages for routes that didn't need help at all,
Yeah.
and it was just a nightmare. You'd have 50-something packages all over the area, and it was so stupid. Get done at 8:30, you'd be late on your route. It was bad. Glad that's over. That was the worst Christmas ever.
There is a very strong issue every Christmas where management can never figure out the best way to do that because there's always going to be some kind of overlap.
Yeah, but-
and every year I try talking to them, and some years they listen, some years they don't.
What do you say to them?
Well, we had a good system this year.
Well, honestly, the most important thing I think is getting the packages up earlier.
Yeah.
Because doing that doesn't mean anything if everybody has to wait in the office till 1 anyway.
Yeah.
Like
true.
we've been doing.
So take the 10 people who are doing that and have them help just spread the packages. That gets done 2 or 3 hours earlier, and then maybe have them do a little bit.
It fit with what you were talking about. Sorry.
Oh no,
Couldn't
dude!
help it.
That's in my opinion. I got a lot to say about. That's the biggest problem with the business here is instead of hiring people, I understand that hiring from within is a great idea. It's great for any company, but what I don't understand is why you have some jumped up carrier who has no experience whatsoever running any kind of business, being a manager, nothing. You give him the bare essentials for training.
Yeah.
And then you make him a manager of 40-something carriers. That doesn't make any sense.
Especially when
Because he wants to do it, and the type of person who wants that job is not the type of person who's good at our job.
that's what I was getting ready to say. Most
Yep.
bad carriers
End up
go
as
right into
managers.
management.
Yep, and that's
And
That's not a coincidence.
and
It
the
just
managing, the
happens.
training is minimal.
It's so bad,
I
dude.
did it. I supervised for a year, and
And
it's
it's
they don't teach.
honestly it's not even their fault. Like if you come into this job thinking you can do it and you can't, and then you're like, well, maybe I can be a manager. I'm good at whatever, dealing with problems or talking to people or whatever. And then they make that move and they don't know the basics
they
of
don't
our
know the
job.
fundamentals of the job, so they don't have a fundamental understanding of how they're supposed to manage an employee because they have no former knowledge. They can't go into they can't have a conversation with a carrier when
Yep.
they don't know what job they're doing.
yeah, like carrier needs an answer for something, and
if
you can't give it to him.
Yeah, well, if you got a route that's 38 miles long and you're trying to tell this person to take a split,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, he's going to be the last person back at the office no matter what he does.
And that's what I like about our boss now, who is temporarily away, is she listens.
Yeah, she's great, man.
Like she'll listen to your concern, and
We
like,
need her back
I was gonna
soon.
say, you got to believe me when I tell you, she is the best boss
Oh, I
for
believe it, man.
y'all.
Where she go?
who's
She
been
gets sent
there
on
since I've
detail
been
somewhere?
here.
Something bad happened with her family.
Family
some
emergency.
personal stuff.
We
She's
we
been gone
miss
a
her
couple
because
weeks.
the guy I'm talking about right now, who just doesn't give a shit and he's just kind of a dick. I like him most of the time.
I feel sorry for him most days because he is
Yeah.
put in a position where so normally there are like 3 to 4 supervisors
Should
who
be
work
4.
our station in a day. It should be 4. And that one is gone, and there's not been a replacement for her. So we have been
How many zones do y'all cover?
42
man.
routes on our side,
3?
Huge.
2 zips.
2 zips? Okay.
But it's 42 routes on our side with no supervisor.
Nice.
And they've got the supervisor from the city side trying to cover us also.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When even a person who's there full time can barely do that job. Like, that job takes 2 full-time supervisors.
And
We used to
23
have
subs.
2 full-time supervisors, and that place ran smooth like butter 15 years ago because they paid 2 full-time supervisors.
3
for
years
us.
ago, it ran smooth.
Well,
when I first started,
yeah.
that Christmas was. I remember everybody was making a big deal about Christmas, and I got in there during Christmas. I started during Christmas, and I was like, "What's the stink about?" Because what's his name?
That was the first Christmas Amazon started delivering most of their stuff.
That's
though.
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
but dude, the U-Haul trucks.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that was great. He had 2 U-Haul vans or 3. We had 3 U-Haul vans.
Was it?
And he would bring in subs on days off. If they wanted to come in, you could come in and throw parcels. You could do whatever. But we had the 2 U-Haul trucks, and 2 subs would get in a U-Haul truck and load it.
I'm
200,
surprised that
300
they
parcels.
were okay with that because our company is so anal about spending
Image.
money. No, spending money. Like, it costs money to run them U-Haul trucks, like
Right.
renting them out.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend on anything. We can't get rubber bands half the time because they don't want to fucking order. They
Well,
can't get.
We have a major truck shortage.
Well, speaking of which, we got a thing in the Plan 5 the other day that they said that we're getting our new trucks. They're coming. They're
Yeah.
coming. And that all the rural side is getting the LOVs, is getting the shitty.
Don't you love
Hand me
that?
down.
You know what? I would rather have those than the newer ones with the V6s.
The FFVs.
Those
Well, there's no
things suck.
room. They do stuff, but we're not getting the. Oh, you mean you'd rather have ours than the FFVs?
I would rather have the ones that are 15 years older and
I agree with you there.
may spontaneously burst into
I-
flames
There's no room in them.
than the other truck.
Yeah, those FFVs, they're terrible.
But dude, you could race a motherfucker to light though.
Well,
Yeah,
from what
I
I
mean,
hear,
I don't ever need to do that though.
You could if you
I'm
wanted
only
to.
going 10 feet.
You could beat him
and then
that 10
stopping
feet.
for a second and then going 10 more feet.
last time I was
guess
in
it's
an
longer than 10
FFV,
feet.
the transmission blew.
I mean, it's not shocking.
I was in Crestwood delivering something.
Cut that.
And oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
You're good.
I was in somebody's
I
driveway.
was just marking it.
And I go to back up, or I go to reverse, and I'm like, there's something sticky all over the floor. I look down, there's transmission fluid all over.
Oh,
the
nice.
floor.
Nice.
And I was trying to reverse, and it wouldn't reverse. It would go forward, but it wouldn't reverse.
You don't need to reverse anyway.
I was gonna say,
we've been
that's-
getting plenty of.
I'd finish the route like that. I don't need to shift.
Yesterday we got talked to because somebody backed up 174 feet.
Oh yeah, we've been getting hammered about backing.
I got somebody got on
Who
me
does
'cause
that
I
though?
was-
Like, they know that stuff is tracked now.
Well, they found out why I popped up on it is because I was on Ash Avenue and there was like a huge driveway I had to back out of.
Okay.
Well, so I mean, I got popped because he goes, you backed up, like he said, 30 feet. I was like, no, there's a 3-point turn. I have to do a turnaround here because it's a dead end, and I have to pull into a driveway
Right.
and back out to get going the other way. And they had to go out and verify. I'm like, you know these routes. You guys have been supervising this zone for fucking 5 years. You know
Right.
there's a turnaround there. Why you
Right.
pull them into the office for this bullshit? So
Because they get made to.
yeah.
Because we
I
had
understand.
somebody-
Yeah, it's upper
which
management
is,
doing it.
Which is the biggest waste of money in our job is all this stuff.
What,
'cause
upper management?
Yeah.
the management above us is essentially middle management, although they're directly, like, they're the ones who are on the ground and see what's happening. Most of what they do is because their boss above them is saying, you need to start writing people up for this. You need to start taking people in the office. You need to start giving letters of warning. Da-da-da-da-da. And it's all for,
Yeah.
like, not even mistakes.
Honestly, generally, all the stations I've been to never had a problem with any of the supervisors. It's always been station managers on up.
Yep.
I mean, that's the cutting off point. Like, I feel sorry for the supervisors because I see how hard they work most of the time.
Most of them get it.
Yeah, they do.
The ones who have done our job before, at least.
I mean, there's still a few that I respect that they haven't done our job, but they work with the carriers so damn well that it's like, okay, I'm gonna do something you asked for me because you know what we're going through here.
right.
Exactly. Well, we had a station manager recently who will call. You ever seen Muppets? The Muppets, Beaker.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like to me. Yeah, he was just the worst. I mean, he was just absolutely awful. I couldn't fucking stand that guy. I'm so glad he's gone. But he got so many. I think they said like 125 grievances filed against him.
That's the guy I thought you were talking about
Yep.
when we started the conversation.
Oh, no, that was somebody
And then I
else.
found out you were talking about the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like that guy.
No.
We used to have a guy. He don't work for us anymore. Him and another guy got in trouble for a big old fuck up. We used to call Frisch's big boy. Name was Jeff.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll tell you the last name after, but he got walked out by the by the inspectors,
Yeah.
and everybody kept going. Anybody smell like Frisch's? Somebody kept yelling at him, and he throw tantrums and shit. But he got in some shit. Like him and this guy got in some like probably jail time shit for stuff they did.
Didn't we have one
A
of those?
lot of thieving.
We had one of those, didn't we?
Some jail time shit.
Yeah.
We've had several.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I don't get. I don't get why people think they're gonna get away with this shit. Like, the police side of our business is bulldogs, and they know what they're talking about. If they're coming to you about something, they've already got some shit on you.
they could arrest
Well,
the president.
Not only that,
Yeah.
but
They need
like
to.
people who do that do it for 10, 15 years. Like they're
I
not going
know.
to eventually get caught. You will always eventually get caught.
It's not worth it. I mean,
Oh man, look at this.
I'm not
beat-up
saying
gift card.
if you're going to do something, only
Yeah.
do it once and stop, because I can't say that. But
Yeah.
if you're going to do something, only do it once and then stop.
That whisper made a huge
Oh my
difference,
God.
Bruce.
when everybody
Sure it did.
laid it, yeah.
I don't know who said that.
Okay.
Somebody said that.
Well,
It
that
was a-
whisper.
Avery, was that you?
I've never done anything.
When you whispered in the
Good
mic
or
a
bad
second
in his
ago?
life.
I think that
Just
whisper's a
anything.
good break for us, though.
just say yes,
That
Avery.
is a good
I
break.
think it's time for us to use the half bath.
All right,
Unless
break
you're me.
time.
I like it. The
Break it.
half bath? Nice.
We will return.
I'll show you the half bath. Come on, Isaac. We'll cross some streams.
You got a whole
off. The mics are live
Hello?
now.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. You're
Oh, there
fine.
you go.
Yeah, you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
I heard you earlier.
It kind of cut out a bit earlier.
It was there was something towards the end, right before we went to break with his mic. I don't know.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, because I can't
Sounds
really
good
hear,
now.
I can't really hear myself. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Hello.
See, it was doing it again.
Yeah, we're good.
Hello.
Yeah, just I guess try to get a little bit closer or talk louder.
All right. How about that?
Yeah.
I hear
Try
him
and
good in
suck
my
it.
headphones.
Nope.
I don't know.
We
I hear him.
We're
he's
still in
just-
litigation
he's
for
not
last
as
time,
loud as
fine.
everybody else,
No,
which
we're
is
not.
odd because he's usually much louder than everyone else.
well, I mean that microphone still needs to be replaced, and so does that one. So
Well, next time I have a condenser mic, a nice CAD audio one I can bring.
I mean, yeah.
I don't use it anymore at my
Well,
desk
then
really.
definitely, yeah.
All right. I use it when I stream, but that's like rare now.
We have 4 good ones, and then the other 2 are.
Well,
Avery
I'll bring
quality. Yeah.
Anyway,
Avery quality? Is that
I was
the-
wondering if
Welcome
anybody
back.
picked that up.
I was
kind
just
of a
letting
dick
it
thing
go.
to say.
Yeah.
I love
It's
you.
not
you know
very
that.
nice.
At least you're shit at Overwatch.
He's probably not wrong. I haven't played much lately.
you're the worst of
Avery,
all 6 of us here.
You know who
at
hasn't
Overwatch.
seen your
I
your
doubt
diva
that.
picture yet?
Oh,
I doubt that.
Jazz
I
has
play,
them all.
I play solid support.
You got all my,
and,
my
I'm a decent
handsome
tank.
pictures.
Dude,
I'm a really
Isaac,
good tank.
you need to see his gas mask.
Oh,
He's got the most bitching gas mask.
Why is
No, he needs to
Yeah.
see
Oh,
his
God.
skin tight diva suit.
Yes, that
Well, he
too.
does need to
Oh,
see
dude,
that.
guy on my primary. Oh, is it doing it again? I
Keeps
can't hear.
No,
fucking
that's,
going out.
That's him.
That's better.
Guy
that
on
was
my
me.
primary has this car has this giant fucking diva graphic on the side.
What?
The
yeah,
bunny?
he's a weird guy. He's a pharmacist or something. I saw him at back.
He's a
one day, and
pharmacist?
I ran into him. I was like, "You're the guy with the Overwatch car." I was trying to figure it out because I was for sure it was like some chick because it was a diva car.
Right. Yeah.
But it was a middle-aged, large, fat man.
Hey,
wow.
no
Yeah.
judging.
So,
no judging.
So Avery.
I'm a
okay.
million.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Fat man.
So I got
Well,
gas mask.
Yeah, Avery's gonna show you some pictures there. It's-
I knew it was gonna like I have a sixth sense about stuff like that, and I knew you were gonna either show me your wiener or something weird.
I like to be
He's-
more classy
That's
than
that-
showing.
You come.
Work up to the dicks.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's-
level 2.
That's Patreon level 2.
we were over at Home Depot in E-Town, and there's a pickup truck that on the gas cap it has written "Fill me up, Senpai."
Nice.
And it's a very large middle-aged guy that got into that truck.
Hell
What-
yeah, dude.
Is it one of those trucks that's got like 30-something inch wheels?
Yeah, it was like
Jacked
freaking
6
super
feet off
jacked
the
up, and it says
ground.
"Fill me up, Senpai."
Did you stop him and go?
No, I did not.
What did it say?
Fill me up, Senpai.
Thank you. Cut that. Everybody was talking over the last two.
This is my diva suit.
yep, that's a good one.
It's worth looking at closer. I promise.
I'm all set, man. My eyes are hurting me enough.
Well, now that we've blinded our guests, we're coming back to the show.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Welcome
say
back.
so.
I thought we were already back.
The mics went live. They're supposed to say that we're back, even though they can clearly hear we're back.
Oh, we're back.
So we're back.
From
Talked about
somewhere.
random stuff, probably more video games.
Thank you, Jess. Hey, we
Less
talked
yelling.
like 20,
less
30
yelling.
Yeah, there was a
minutes.
good long story there of
Yeah,
nothing
there
but.
was
There was.
delivery talk.
Yeah.
There was. I'm not saying there
Bitching
wasn't.
about upper management.
Haven't you heard this show before?
Yeah, that's
That
mostly
unites
delivery
us
now. Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
mean, this. I got so much to say about that, so I'm just gonna save that one.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna let Isaac, I guess, do some stories, and I'll let you guys talk. And everyone who's listening, go ahead and visit EldoradoStudio.net, not .com, and support us. We have bunches of shows on there and bunches of ways to support us.
Use the
That's
link
my
for
spiel.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter.
Follow me on Twitch. That's
S-
SpookyKabuki122 on Twitch.
There you go.
That's a good name.
How
I
the
like
fuck
that.
do you
Spooky
even
Kabuki.
spell that?
Plug your.
Like it sounds. Like it sounds.
Have you never seen the word kabuki?
Do you just inherently hate anything Japanese? Is that?
I don't understand it. I just don't understand it.
Oh.
No, I mean that.
Stop
I don't.
it,
I
Pat,
don't.
you're
I don't get
scaring me.
this. I also don't get the shirt under this.
It's an alright show.
Kabuki is.
You
kinda
got to skip all
classic.
the fillers, but they're pretty
That's
good.
all the show is.
No, it's
if you
not.
skip the fillers, then there's no show.
No, because here's
There's
the thing
10
about-
minutes of
here's the thing.
show
Is one
across
of those
4
you?
seasons.
Let me see. I think
Top one, maybe?
Kabuki is in Kabuki.
You said to spell it how it sounded.
Yeah, it sounds like BOO.
I think
That's
he meant,
Avery.
I think he meant if you know the word kabuki, spell it like it
Or
sounds.
if you've ever, had any kind of culture in your life, or
If you've ever seen something Japanese.
I should have made it like a Berserk reference because we all know that's the best
Pretty
thing
good
to come out
anime.
of Japan ever in the past 30 years.
Berserk question mark?
Berserk.
What is this?
It's an anime.
Guts.
It's a manga.
Guts.
We're
Have
not
you
gonna
heard of
talk- we're not
Godzilla?
gonna talk about the
Although
anime.
I don't like
American
the animation style they use for the
I
movies.
hate it.
It's not good.
He's tattooed on my arm.
You got. Let me see. What is it?
He wants to rub your arm.
I can't get him.
Well, he'll like
You
that
can't
one
get
just
him
as
off.
much. Show him that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
There's
I
the
got
sun.
I got The Witcher.
Right.
I got all Lord of the Rings on this side. I got-
Nice.
I got
Speaking of The Witcher, I'll jump right into this. What do you think of the Netflix series?
I fucking love it. Dude.
I did too.
Yeah,
I think
there's
it's
me.
good.
Yep, I found you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
He is on the big screen
Yeah,
now.
buddy. You
Was
all
that in
know.
high school?
No, that was only like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Prepare for
Dude,
our
you look like the
throngs of
Numa Numa
adoring
kid.
fans to all jump on your
He
profile.
does look like the
I
Newman
just
Newman
got-
kid.
I shaved and had a different haircut.
Can you start
And it
singing
was
Numa
like,
Numa
like
for
40
us?
pounds lighter.
Bruce.
Shit, that's awesome.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, that's good.
That was great.
God, I hope that got on this video too. By the way.
The Numa Numa
Yeah,
dance.
we were doing the Numa Numa dance.
Man, that's like 2005. It's weird to think about how long ago that was. 'Cause,
That's
like,
good.
To me, it feels like yesterday when I was like, Leroy Jenkins came out and I was still playing World of Warcraft. And I was like, this is cool. This became viral because I play World of Warcraft.
You know they made. I was watching Puppy Pals with my son. It's
Puppy
a,
Pals.
yeah, Puppy
What?
Pals. No, it's a good. It's a good show for little kids, 18-month-old
My
kids.
son watched
They
it.
made a fucking Leroy Jenkins joke in it.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, it's still relevant.
That's like when Blippi makes references to Star Wars and stuff. In his
Like
show.
one dog like jumped down a slide and he goes, Gilroy Rankins.
Blippi. You all don't know what Blippi is?
No.
He's a YouTuber. He's like a kids show YouTuber. He's really popular. My son's obsessed with him. Like his Christmas picture, you can see a picture of him. He's all in Blippi regalia.
Mm.
Like,
Huh.
Yeah, I think I
Blippi.
showed you a picture of him. Yeah, here.
Blippy.
I don't follow like my son will watch Madden people or he'll watch specific people for games, but like just general YouTubers, young kids, he won't watch young kid YouTubers. Like he'll watch Ninja or he'll watch stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could never get into it. I would
Oh,
always
okay,
rather be
yeah.
playing the game than watching somebody play the game.
I think
just-
I'm in the wrong
I
fucking
don't
profession.
understand that entire.
Streaming?
Dude, you're all the time coming up to me being like, "Did you see so and so stream?" And I'm like,
Well, my
"What are
wife's
you
gonna hear
talking
this, so
about?"
I'll just go ahead and say
She's
it.
not gonna listen.
Sometimes she will. Sometimes, like when she's like, "Don't play video games. Sit up here with me and
Play video games.
do nothing."
Does she play?
She plays a lot of Switch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's
she
a good
plays
family.
Minecraft. She plays Sims, stuff like that.
Okay,
But mostly
so not a
like,
real gamer.
No,
Dang.
definitely not. But I'll sit there and I'll watch streamers when I'm having to.
Yeah.
I'll
Wow.
watch
When I'm having to spend time with my
No,
wife,
yeah,
I watch
no.
streamers.
Well, it's just sometimes it's like she'll be like, "Well, come up here and hang out with me," but then she'll be on her Switch like the whole time, and I'm like, "Well, what the fuck did I come up here for?"
Yeah, it's the same way. My wife does listen to the show, and it's like, come spend time with me, and we'll watch a movie, and she's on her phone for half
I
of the
know,
movie.
man,
I'm like,
it's
oh, it pisses
infuriating.
me off.
I have
I love
a-
you, babe.
I have a very fragile sleep schedule, as in like I don't sleep if like I'm not laying down, but if I lay down, like I'm sleeping, and then like doing this, like I can get 3 hours of sleep at
That's
night
how it-
and feel fine.
That's how it works.
But no, like if I sit down,
That's
like
just called being a person.
Yeah.
period.
Right.
That's a normal human.
It's not a fragile
but
thing.
like she's like, hey, come hang out in the bedroom, and then like I hang out in the
Yeah, here
bedroom,
we
and
go.
I'm asleep, and she's like, you always fall asleep when you're laying down, and I was like, well, if I always fall asleep when I'm laying down,
Okay, but what do y'all do when you're quote
like
unquote
watch
hanging out?
watch YouTube, movies, stuff like that.
We just
Stuff like
we
that,
watched
Bruce.
last
Stuff like
night,
that.
We actually had
Quality time.
You don't want to know
No,
what he's watching.
I just mean like.
Oh,
Do you go
PewDiePie?
in and lay down and then immediately fall asleep?
you might have
Or
narcolepsy, dude.
are you watching a YouTube video on like knitting?
No,
Or
like
are you watching a movie on Netflix
Look, I
that's
have this thing
exciting
where I
and you're
just-
still
I
falling
fall-
asleep? I'm trying to help.
I can watch something I'm into and kind of start to doze off. I'll like watch live PD. I'll get all sweaty. My heart will start beating real quick, and then I'll doze off.
And you'll pass out while you're like
That's called
imagining running
narcolepsy,
from
dude.
the cops.
It's called narcolepsy. You just fall asleep at
Hey,
random
but,
places at random times.
Like if I'm just sitting or standing up, I don't fall asleep.
Oh, it's only when he's laying
Right.
down, though.
It's only when I'm
Only
laying
when
down.
he's laying down on a bed with his head on a pillow will he fall asleep. But when he's standing up walking around, he
He's
never
good.
falls asleep.
Jason did
It's
say phone
incredible.
time is family time.
I don't agree with that.
Wait. Jason?
Jason said phone time is family
I'm sorry,
time.
phone time is together time.
Is Jason
Together
listening
with
in?
who? That's bullshit.
Where the... So what, he just
No, we're
decided
gonna-
not to be on the show and he wanted to listen in on it?
Ignore him like we
Well, he's
ignored
playing Fred's part.
KC.
Fred's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's pulling
Everyone's
the Fred.
in a different seat except for Bruce. Bruce gets to
Weird.
sit Bruce.
I've tried. Which you need to
To be
you need
fair,
to tweet out
I
that
sit
photo
here
by the way.
because this is the worst chair, and I don't
That's a
want
good
anybody
photo.
else to have
Let me
to
see it.
sit
I
in
didn't get a chance to see it. Am I
She
even?
had it on the damn screen for like an hour.
I didn't see it. Am
want
I
it?
even in it? Can you see me?
Barely.
I'll put you guys back on the screen.
Yeah, I didn't get to see this photo
Thank you.
Oh no.
before everybody
He
got
just
here.
wanted me to sit on his lap.
No, you said I'm going to sit on your lap, and I
No,
said
you
I
asked
actually
me
have a
to.
few.
Hell yeah, dude.
Ryan, this is clearly your fault.
This is
for
my
being
favorite
in the
one.
chair.
You reaching out.
yeah. What was I reaching for?
I don't know.
Air.
I'm just reaching out.
Anyone who would touch you.
Also, when he got up, I did compliment him. I said, "You have a very soft bottom." I was
Very squishy
impressed.
bottom, I
I
yeah.
can
think is
sit
what
on you
you
again
said.
if you like.
One's enough.
You sure?
Yeah.
He looks so happy here, though.
I do look
How
happy.
long did you all stay like this? Are y'all holding hands now?
No, what was I doing there?
I don't know. It was,
Holding
it
his
was,
hand.
it was about
I
30
think
seconds.
He's like,
I think I
10
was trying to
years
reach
into
around.
a bored relationship,
Is
and he's
this
like,
some kind of
I just have
fucking
to sit
slideshow we're
here
watching right now? And in this one right here, I'm doing.
You all could upload these as the teaser pics to Pornhub.
For Meat Flock?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Call it
You're
Meat
looking
Flock.
at his butt.
No, I'm not. I'm
Look
looking
at
at
him.
the
A million
headphones.
downloads.
He's like squinting, like,
I'll take it.
damn, that's
You're
fun.
facing that way, but your eyes are on his butt.
Yeah, I can see where you would think that. You can't tell that's me. There's a microphone in front of my face.
You're smiling. You're wearing a Magic the Gathering shirt. I haven't seen that in a few years.
Were you just trying to hide
Somebody's
your
gonna
Magic
get down
together
there,
shirt?
butt crack, and do hard style.
I've been playing Magic on and off for 30 years, and I've never bought an article of clothing.
This
that
was
said
a
Magic
Christmas
the Gathering
gift.
on
I
it.
did when I was
Sure.
16.
How old
Hey,
are you
I'm
now?
back into it,
You
man.
can't be much
25.
more- Wow,
Yeah,
that surprised me.
that's sad.
That surprised me.
He's like, I thought you were at least 40.
I was gonna say younger, honestly.
Oh.
It's the hair.
I'm sorry, Avery.
It's like
There you go.
we work with somebody who is your age but looks like he's 17 and is definitely a virgin.
Well, that's sad.
We
Yeah,
were,
it
we
is
were
sad.
discussing that on the way here.
I live with a girlfriend, so I'm not.
Were you trying to figure out how to make him not?
I
Just
live
because you
with a
live with him,
girlfriend.
do you understand what
you say
virginity
that-
is?
That picture of you in the diva suit.
That's
so
for the-
I'm curious.
And the
And
gas mask.
Oh,
Don't
my
forget about
kind
the
of
gas
person
mask.
she is. The gas mask.
Hey,
was
she
a
found
fine
out
picture.
about
We're not
that
going to
yet?
talk about that one.
What?
Has she found out about
Oh,
that
she
yet?
saw both of them. I was wearing. I wore the diva suit
She
around
took
the house.
picture.
No,
Oh,
I took
You
the
do
picture.
realize that if you just because if you live with a girl doesn't mean you
Hold
don't
on.
have your virginity.
Hold on. Did you all see how dejected he was when he said, "No, I took the picture," as if he asked her to take the picture and she wouldn't take the picture,
Babe,
so he
take
had to
picture
go
of me in
find a
this
mirror.
sweet diva suit. Hold on, how did you? So you?
And she's like, "Why is it 3 sizes too small?" He's like, "I bought it off Wish. I thought it would fit."
Oh, apparently you can also buy like human remains off of Wish. from
What?
us.
That's cool.
But they're tiny though.
They're tiny human remains.
They never fit.
The human remains never
They're,
fit.
they're Chinese second child remains.
Ouch.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Only if they're female though, not if they're males. They're okay if they're males.
Bruce
I
looks
see.
like
Oh,
he's
it's the fir- it's the
contemplating his
first
whole
child
It's
if
the
they're
first child
now.
is female, yeah.
Oh, why they kill the female if it's the first child?
Well, yeah, because they want a son.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's a fucked up culture.
They do that.
Damn.
That's a thing. Like I was making.
I thought we
a
were talking about-
obviously poor tasted joke.
I thought
but
we were
that's
talking
a
about
real
tigers at first.
thing.
Hey, Bruce, do we need to talk about tracheotomies now?
No,
God.
It's not that.
to talk about tracheotomies.
Speaking of tracheotomies, so what's up? You get freaky with that thing? Or?
Bruce can't. Bruce has lost his
You know,
words
all
trying
you're
to.
saying is- Sometimes no. Yeah, you're
Listen.
talking about me on the first season of this show.
Whoa, no, hold on, time out. So there's a person we work with. If you remember Beetlejuice? Everybody's seen Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Juno, the caseworker?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We work with somebody who literally is Juno, the caseworker.
Huh.
You know exactly who I'm talking about too.
I never thought about that.
Has the tracheotomy and
No, she didn't have tracheotomy. She just died of like lung cancer, and she's got like the hole in her throat, and it just leaks smoke out. We work with somebody who is like 2 years away. Probably. Like really, they look similar in a way and kind of talk similar. You gotta go to this station.
It was a short
I'm
impression,
assuming
but
you
he
have a spot
tried.
on.
And then she stamps it, and you.
No, I
and-
can't.
and-
I can't.
and you
I
leave.
can't mention the station, but it's literally, this is another story. Lately, there is a station in our district that has constantly, every day requested we go over there after we're done with our routes. And I just don't understand why the fuck they can't split routes like everybody else does in the district. Instead, they ask us to come over there.
That station's a lot more laid back. You would find that an average sub from that station would not be near as good at our job as an average sub from our station. They just do less there.
Yeah, well, they also get done quicker. Still.
That's because there's less stuff to do.
Fuck, man. I get jealous sometimes when I hear about other stations.
You would like it if you transferred
sorry.
over there. Well, I mean, I don't know that, but
I would have to work with
I
a
just
certain
mean
person.
there's less work over there.
There would be a certain person that I'd have to work with that I would not enjoy working with ever again, and hope she doesn't come back to our station when the bidding starts.
I don't know.
How
who
long
you're
you been
talking
carrying,
about.
Isaac?
Just 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
KM.
No.
You mean
She has a daughter who sucks, who's awful, that worked with us for a long time.
Yes. I didn't know she was there.
Yeah, she's there. And
Oh, she's probably coming back.
She's probably coming back.
I'd say odds are at least 90% she bid on one of those things.
Yeah.
That was up. We had 5 routes get posted at the same time
Nice.
a couple weeks ago.
I'm actually happy about it because we're losing 2 subs.
There is this one carrier who is kind of known. She's done it at least 4 times now that I know of. She's basically like a route sniper. She'll get on a route
We had one of those at our old
when it
station.
overpays,
Yeah.
and then when everything's right and it's a normal route and it's paying like it should,
She bids
she'll,
off of
she'll
it.
leave it for another route.
Well, I don't know if it's the
Is that what
same.
she does?
We
Oh, I didn't know that.
we had a city carrier that would always. She just ran so goddamn much, like just burnt routes to the ground, to where they would add another hour, 2 hours to it, and then she'd bid off of it. So
and
she
that's,
was just
that's
constantly
essentially
fucking up
what
routes.
she does.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Cause you spend so much time trying to get a route good, where it's a solid 8-hour route, and it's not too short, not too long. You can burn it up if you need to on certain days, but I mean, you got these people just coming in and ruining things about running and getting done at 1 o'clock every day and taking sick leave the rest of the day. So
Once, okay, so when you're a regular, there is a lot of upkeep and a lot of extra work. Not a lot, but a little bit of extra work you have to do to maintain your route. It's work that we get paid for. Like there's a specific book we have to write things in.
Right.
It's a certain color. Anyway, I don't. She doesn't do any of that stuff. So that when she stops getting paid for doing that stuff during counts every couple of years, and the route drops, she just moves on to another route.
That's fucked up.
that's an important part of our job, though, like to keep the route in order, basically. So, like, who's in, who's not.
Yep.
If the address is still good, if it's vacant, you got to keep up with that shit. Otherwise, that route is gonna just fall apart.
And she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Every carrier I've talked to who's followed her on a route like that.
How long she been with us?
She
A long time.
Yeah.
She should know better.
She's the worst.
She's been a regular probably 10 years.
God, she should know better.
She's the worst. Dude.
So
her daughter's
for,
worse than
outside
she
looking
is.
in, how long before you become regular?
Probably another year and a half, 2 years for me if I'm lucky.
It'll probably be 2 years.
2 years.
That's still
awesome.
not bad
2-3
for
years
for
now.
your old
It's
side.
a lot
But
less
what
than it
what
was.
triggers that? What triggers you
People
being able
retiring.
to go?
Retirements,
Yeah.
of which there were a significant number at our station. Out of the 5 routes I was just talking
Uh-huh.
about, those are all carriers retiring.
But
And
he
more
can't
on the
become a
Usually,
regular on one of those.
There might average 1 a year in our office that retires. And last year, it just so happened that there were a lot of carriers who all retired at the same time. So he moves up 5 spots. Now, when all 5 of those routes, that's 5 substitute carriers who are making regular.
Because now
J-
I'm in the top. I think I'm in the top
So he
15.
moves up 5.
Just to give it some perspective
fucking
here,
sweet.
Russ.
Ah,
So it's a waiting list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was I guess PTF back in the day, it took me 3.5 years to make regular. Nowadays, it only takes a year maybe for my craft. When
I heard it takes
nowadays
less
half
time
the
now.
people who apply for this job just can't fucking do it.
yeah,
Well, we've heard the stories coming out.
how
of
long did it
Jason's
take you to
training.
make regular?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's a
9
craft.
years.
It took 9
and
years
7
for him to
months.
take regular.
9 years
Then
and 7 months.
it only takes about 3 or so for them now.
Because it's a lot of people getting older, a lot of people retiring. There's
Well,
more.
there
more
was
in our
also
station.
there was also 3 years where there was a hiring freeze.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
a sub during that time, and not one carrier in our city retired for 3 years. That was a fucking.
We got
nightmare.
another. We got
I
another
almost
big.
quit.
There's another big group of people leaving our side now. Like we're
Same.
probably gonna have a ton of people in the next year leave.
A friend
a
of mine
ton.
works downtown. And he's a city side, and he'll probably make regular like this year.
We've got 5 people retiring in our station, my zone alone, this year. What's up?
Nothing. Just looking.
Oh, I don't know. Thought somebody was saying something in Twitch that we needed to
Nope.
address.
Keep going.
Shit.
It's just Jason.
What is he doing? Isn't he supposed to be on his?
Hey, Fred.
Anniversary
we
date with
we
his-
ask that every fucking time you don't show up and you're on Twitch. So
Yeah, I think I think.
What
To
if
be
I'm
fair,
streaming
Fred,
on
I
Twitch,
think
right?
I have offended him because the last thing I said was, "I see that you're playing the role Fred now." LOL.
Oh,
And that's the last.
Good
Just
Oh,
so
it's
y'all
you
know,
and him. Like they're
Yeah.
talking to each other,
it looks like one person.
but they're both logged in on the same
Same thing.
oh,
account.
for fuck's sake!
So it's just us talking to ourselves.
Yeah, he's not watching from his account to where it'll count for us.
Of course not.
He's watching from
Nick's
this
trying to.
account.
Speaking of Jason, Nick's trying to get out there. I think he's trying to bid on one of those routes. I don't know if somebody's leaving from PRP, but that's where he's trying to go because he lives out there. I think.
I don't know. I don't think there's anybody. There's the one carrier we
Kevin.
had talked about beforehand, but he's not like he's still holding the route down. He
Right.
can't until he retires or quits or whatever. They
Isn't-
can't
what's
put somebody
her-
there.
What's her name out there?
Kara?
No, I know she's out there. The gun girl, Paisha, isn't she out there? Remember, she threatened to bring. She brought a gun in
Surely
or
she's
somebody.
been fired by now.
You think? I don't know.
There's no way she still works for us.
She was in.
We've gotten a lot of
PRP.
people back their jobs
Ask
that didn't
Jason.
deserve it.
Somebody asked Jason about that. I don't know if she's
Because
still
he said last time there were only 2 subs at the station.
She's a sub though. She
Right
bid-
now.
She made regular.
What?
She was a PTF at our station, and then she made regular out there.
Maybe she is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know her.
I think she's a. I think she's
I don't.
a
I
stripper
haven't
too.
left our station. I
We'll
mean,
talk.
that wouldn't surprise me.
What's sadder, that she makes more money at our line of work, or
She makes more money doing that than our line
I can
Okay.
imagine, like,
100%.
I don't want to be an asshole for saying this, but I can imagine she would be good at that job.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if it's her job, I mean, she's obviously good at it.
She's
if
not
she's
good at
making
this
money,
job.
yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
She is the worst in every aspect.
Well,
of this
yeah.
job.
Every time she
Well,
comes
she
up to
pulled
a
a gun on her
pole, she
supervisor.
stops.
She pulled a gun on her supervisor.
Really?
She kept her job.
Wow.
But we can't.
Seems
get,
pretty
but we
serious.
can't
No,
get more than a
do you know any
75 cent
witnesses
raise.
for that? Because I'm still not sure that happened.
I do. I have witnesses that
Okay.
told me what happened.
No, we'll talk later.
It was. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah,
she
no, you
100%
can't
did
be
it.
pulling guns on
Anybody,
Was
but-
it on our property
Yeah.
or?
Because that's an offense right there. That's a
Wow.
federal offense right there.
I
That's what
thought the proper way to handle it was
I
to
guess it-
threaten to cut off their hands.
Well, we've addressed that. He's been made to switch crafts.
What is this fucking Eastern Promises? Nobody. Nobody's
No,
seen that movie?
that doesn't ring.
Viggo Mortensen when he's the Russian mobster. It's a good movie, man.
The only thing you should be talking about Vigo in is Lord of the
I
Rings.
was gonna say, what
have the
else?
entire Lord of
What
the
else
Rings
was
sleeve.
he in?
Wasn't
that
he in
was a
something
good
with a
movie?
horse?
Can you name another?
Wasn't he in a movie with a horse or something?
Like he was
Yeah,
a
he
jockey?
was.
It was, it was on Pornhub. I know. I saw that
Hidalgo,
one.
Thank you.
It was what?
It was Hidalgo.
Yeah,
He,
have
like-
you
That was.
ever
That
seen
was a
a
good
fucking
movie.
interview with that guy? He has zero personality
Yeah,
at
he's a weird
all.
guy.
I've seen him out.
Personality as an actor
I
in
know.
his role.
No, he's got less in person.
He's like the most boring. He was fuck, what's the guy's
He
name?
was in History of Violence, though. That was bad.
Aragorn.
Aragorn. I kept saying Mortimer,
History
but
of Violence?
but
Never
it was the
heard
other
of
one.
Oh, dude.
He was boring in
Good
that
comic.
fucking role. Of course, that was kind of the role of the human in that story, though, was to
With
be the
elves
most
and dwarves
bland
and-
character. So actually, he was perfect for the role
Mhm.
because he's a bland person.
There will come a day, one
Got a
day,
cool name, though.
where I will get a full night of sleep. But it is not this day.
How did we get on Viggo Mortensen?
I don't fucking know.
It's probably Ryan's fault.
How did we get on Vigo? You brought it up.
Hold
You
on, let me-
did.
No, hold on. Let me backtrack.
Can
That's
you
always
get there?
good podcasting.
It's like 7 degrees
Backtrack.
of Kevin Bacon.
Don't know.
Yeah. no
Roll
idea.
it back.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there he is. Smell the ground, Aragorn.
I thought that was Legolas. No,
No.
I thought he was blonde.
it smells.
That was Orlando. Oh.
That was Orlando Bloom, yeah.
Hey, you know he was an elf.
Yeah.
He
He was a
blonde.
Hyrulean.
They said he was an
Just
elf.
throwing
not
that
a
out
Hylian,
there.
not to be.
This is Middle Earth, not
But he
High
didn't have
Earth.
a fairy following him around.
No, there were no. I mean, he had a couple hobbits. That's,
Closer than.
One of them was gay. Maybe a gay hobbit.
So,
All the
was he?
has anyone ever noticed this thing of Mario where like the princess and Bowser like had kids?
Yeah,
or
dude.
Something?
Yo,
How's
yeah.
that, bro?
No, Bowser
No,
Jr.
no, 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 don't say.
What
Oh.
kind of blasphemy are y'all talking right now?
This is like a thing on
No,
the
Bowsette?
internet.
Yeah.
I had more issues with the bra than I did the Bowsette.
What's
used to it, bro.
Bowsette?
Bowsette is the female version of Bowser, and
No, it's
Go on.
okay.
you
I'll let
never
him.
see it.
What?
Pull up some
So
Bowsette.
this is Bowser's daughter.
No.
You
No.
just said
No.
it was the offspring
but-
of Bowser
no,
and
this is a
Princess.
this is a female Bowser.
This is just some weird Rule 34 fucking internet incel bullshit.
So it's got nothing to do with
No,
Princess
but,
and
but
Bowser.
like
They did
actual
have kids in
canon
lore.
is
Yeah.
Princess and Bowser had kids.
Bowser Jr. Made his debut in Mario Sunshine.
He's also in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Are y'all being fucking serious?
Yeah,
right
Yeah.
now?
dead
Yeah,
serious.
There
dead
is
serious.
a game theory about it.
So who did Mario?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Mario's
Mario's a
just
cuck.
trying to.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's the cuckold,
He's a
man.
yeah, he's a cuck, man.
Mario's a fuck boy.
Yeah. No, he's not a fuck
He's
boy,
not
a
even
cuck
that.
Boy.
Yeah.
He's a follow boy.
Yeah.
And
mean,
Wario
he's-
and Waluigi. are
Luigi's
gay.
the
He's
real
trying to
hero.
fuck. That's what a fuck boy
And that's
is.
another weird thing, man. on
'Cause-
the
'cause-
internet.
Waluigi.
This is what comes up when you type in Bowsette.
Goddamn, yeah.
That is
Look at your fucking hentai face.
strangely erotic.
Stop it.
Like that's
That's what it's supposed to be. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be erotic. That's what's weird about it. It's fucking weird.
There's a ton of like cosplayers that go as Bowsette too.
What? How did you pronounce that?
Bowsette.
Cosplayers.
I thought you said cosplayers.
He
Cosplayers.
did.
At first, but
He did say cosplayers.
He
Okay.
did.
So.
It's like
Can we-
cosine.
Can we play that back?
Cosplayers.
The fuck is a?
It's just the princess with horns and a stud collar
And a giant
one
rack.
spiky tooth.
Because Princess Peach is
Yeah,
not that
don't forget her
endowed.
nails.
I mean,
Definitely
I
not.
don't know.
Don't forget her nails.
Well, you know what I want?
They're
I
very
wanna get
sharp
that
and
hoodie
spiky.
with all
A
the-
body pillow.
all the fucking faces, all the hentai faces, you know. Get that thing.
I don't know. I've seen some
What are those
cars
faces-
around
what's that
town
face
with those
called?
on it.
You know, I mean, you.
Yeah, it's a Hago or something. I've
Yeah,
never
there you
seen
go.
it
I know, I
said.
knew he would
Hidalgo?
know, somehow.
God, Brian's gonna
Hidalgo.
love the show.
No, that's a Viggo Mortensen movie, dude.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
No.
Actually, I think Hidalgo is probably his best movie.
Jesus Christ, we're back on Hidalgo.
What?
I never saw it.
I'm not even sure I've
Nah,
heard of
History of Violence, dude.
Oh, yeah,
was
that is a good one.
Yeah,
That is a good one.
badass.
That was Ed Harris that made that movie.
That's
though,
true.
Not him.
No,
He was just there.
Anything Ed Harris is in
the
is.
one who. Speaking of which, we started watching. Kim and Denver seen Westworld,
Oh, okay.
Badass movie.
and we
Badass show,
watched the trailer for season 3. Have you seen that?
No, I saw.
Watch that shit.
I have to watch that. I want to watch The
Um,
Outsider.
I've heard a lot of good things
There's
about
2
it.
episodes of that. Fucking fantastic.
Stephen
I'm gonna
King.
be
Yeah, I
honest.
wanna
When
write-
we started watching it, I was not that excited
Is it
about
just
it.
Hulu?
It's Mr. Mercedes, or what's
It's on
his name?
Netflix.
The detective from Mr. Mercedes, that guy. What the fuck is his name? My mom would know.
Ace.
No, the detective.
Ventura.
The
Pet
detective, from
detective.
Mr. Mercedes. The book series, the Stephen King book series.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't
What
think
is
of the
his
name right now
name?
though.
My
Come on,
mom would
Jason,
know.
you're watching?
Call her right now, Mom.
Yeah, Jason.
He's from another book, at least
Yeah,
another
that's what I'm
book,
talking
if
about.
not more.
Mr. Mercedes.
Bill Hodges.
Bill Hodges, yes. They made a series, Mr. Mercedes series. It was not
That's
very
not
good.
the guy in this, though.
But
That's,
isn't Bill
that's
Hodges?
not the character in this.
Isn't
don't-
he in The Outsider?
I don't think so.
I think he's in The Outsider.
So what's it about? Because I haven't started watching it yet.
Mystery, like murder.
There is a guy who played by Jason Bateman.
Nice.
Who is
Good start.
fucking awesome
Good
in
start.
the role.
Yeah.
He's some kind of boring business guy. He goes out of town, and while he's gone, there is a 10-year-old boy in the town. This is a small town, who is killed savagely and like eaten somebody, whatever killed him, ate.
So
part
is this
of
like
him,
a fantasy murder mystery?
and there are witnesses that. No, I mean
Classic
it's
Stephen
yeah,
King.
it's
Kid
pretty
died.
it's pretty typical. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty typical Stephen King, and they really play it up too. Like the kid's parents are both in it, and the dad's trying to kill the guy. I don't want to get too far into
Yeah,
it.
that's fine.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I'm gonna watch it.
But so basically, he's out of town while this happens, and there's a witness,
Is this Netflix or
and
Hulu?
there's also video.
It's HBO. Nice, even better.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, we can see
it's
more
quality
and more of the
HBO
10-year-old
too.
kid.
Well, you know what I mean.
So basically, there's video of him killing this kid, but there's also video of him being at this conference
I've
out
seen
of town.
trailers for this. Okay.
So the cops have him, and he's in prison, and his lawyer like shows the footage of him being out of town, and where I am in the show, he's still in jail because
It's the book.
I wonder if it has anything to do with.
and they haven't gotten into anything supernatural yet, but you know by watching it that basically it's probably maybe some kind of shapeshifter who's doing
Aliens
it.
coming out of his ass.
Now, is this
Maybe.
is
Ron
this
Jeremy's
all,
dick.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy's dick.
No, it would be bigger.
is this
Viggo Mortensen.
a weekly thing, or have they released it all already?
It's
weekly.
every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Okay.
They released the first 2 episodes at the same time last Sunday, and
Okay.
then their episode 3 comes out tonight.
I think it's cool though, like that Stephen King just uses the same shtick in every fucking book, and
it
I
works every
I-
fucking time.
love-
You're good at
Right.
I love it, but like I have, my son, and every time I read books of his where like some little kids getting hurt, it like makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm like,
That's
man,
like me with true crime podcasts, man. I start listening to true crime podcasts, and it's just all these fucking kids getting killed and kidnapped. I'm like, I am
sad, man.
very uncomfortable
we
right now.
watch about
We
all
watched-
his movies, all his books, Salem's Lot, Pet Cemetery, It, The Outsider.
Do you want to push
Everything.
his
The
mic
Dark
up on?
Tower.
Probably-
sorry,
probably
The
all of
Dark
them.
Tower. Like every single one of his books has some. Like Salem's Lot, you're like, oh yeah, they're older kids, so it's better. And then you hear about the little baby getting beat by its dad.
Well,
and
I
then
mean,
turn
look,
into a vampire.
part of being a good author is making your reader feel sympathy for a character in the book, and there's no easier way to do that than have a kid get brutally hurt.
Stephen King actually pokes fun at himself, I think, at one point. He's like, yeah, he uses this old shtick where he puts kids in danger. I'm like, you're either Stephen King or Steven Spielberg. Putting kids in danger.
Right.
That's how it is, dude. Like Hook. Oh, it's a
Steven-
magical show. Yeah. kids
Steven
get
Spielberg's kids all get away and kill the bad guys, though. Stephen King, a couple of them don't make it.
Yep, like it. Yeah. I watched the second movie. I was very disappointed,
It was okay.
dude.
It,
What about the ritual?
I know.
The ritual of Chud. What happened to the ritual? What happened to the turtle?
Is that the gangbang?
No.
Which one's the gangbang?
Again. It's actually in the first half of the book.
Yeah, not the second.
They don't show that in the movie, do they? I never watched them.
It's fucking kids, Avery. Of course they don't.
I don't know. I never watched the movie. They could have had like
Did
adults
you read the
playing
book?
kids.
Did you
Oh, come on,
interact
don't
with
ask-
the
don't
story
ask
in
that
any way?
question.
Do you even know the story?
There's a clown or something.
All you heard is kid gangbang and you're in.
Wait, there's a kid gangbang?
There's kid
And
gangbang.
so is Russ.
It's on the picture
God
app.
damn
It's on the
it.
picture app.
Yeah, it's the title's Meat Flock.
Yeah, meat flock.
They're
No,
not,
dude,
they're, they're not quite a flock yet.
It bothered me that the turtle wasn't in it because like they didn't do it in the first
Yeah.
turtle?
miniseries.
Yeah.
The turtle's like this. It's so fucking complicated. We're not going to get into it.
You got to keep reading, Russ. You got to keep reading. I know you have a list from Jace. You got to keep reading.
I'm never gonna read those
I
books.
thought he was so important to the story that they had to include him.
They didn't. They couldn't have had time.
That's a
I
lot
mean,
to
I don't-
include, though.
You don't
Bro, I
need
would
the
the
average watcher of that. Yeah, I mean
If
that's
I saw
that's
the
true.
turtle, I
Although
would've
all the
been so
King
happy.
fans would have much more appreciated it. If,
But or
if-
they could have at least said, "Oh, it's a ritual," not just like, "Oh, we're cussing the clown out."
Yeah, that was
That
a
was
bit much,
stupid.
beating him that way.
That was
I'm like,
stupid.
come
Stupid.
on.
Bill beats him Bill and Richie beat him
Well,
in a battle
so-
of wills with their minds.
But that's the thing is in the book they had figured it out and they kind of knew what they were doing. In the movie they more didn't really know what they were doing. They were just like we did some of these things and it had an effect, so let's keep trying
know
them.
why?
And then the movie ended.
because there was no turtle to tell them
Well,
how to
yeah.
beat him.
Well, they used the fucking artifact that he found. Remember?
that urn-looking
Yeah,
thing.
that was all scratched out. That didn't tell him how to beat him, but they were trying to lock him back in it.
Yeah.
But there was nothing to lock him in. He like lives on the edge of the universe as a entity. He's like an old god.
Yeah, but They had
But then
to.
he contradicts himself in the Dark Tower. Do you remember?
No.
They encounter another psychic vampire in the Dark Tower, but they beat him like way easier. They just shoot the fuck out of him. Roland just lights him up.
We really need Jason here for this conversation.
It's such a bad. I can't
He's
wait
not
for the
here
Dark
right
Tower
now.
show, man. I can't wait. That's the thing I'm looking.
I can hear him
forward to.
They already
breaking the
made a Dark
sound barrier
Tower
right now to
movie.
get in here to argue his point.
Sure, he agrees. Okay, it was kind of
Start-
weird that
start saying
Dandelo
some-
died really easy.
He's just
Some
gonna come
incorrect
kicking down
facts
that
about
door.
the books.
Yeah.
I bet he kicks in the door.
I just read
Fucking
all
Kool-Aid
of them,
man
like,
comes
back
in through
to
the
back.
side.
Yeah.
Like 2 months ago, I just read them all again.
What was
And-
that recent movie that he really hated that he said was absolutely not like the books?
The Dark Tower.
Was that
Yeah.
what it was?
Oh, it was fucking awful.
He didn't watch it
Yeah.
though.
worst
I don't think.
worst piece
No.
of trash I've ever fucking. I don't know. I got halfway through it and I was like, nope.
I didn't mind Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, Matthew
Of course you
McConaughey
didn't.
was great as the Man in Black.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he did a decent job as it.
He was. And I would have liked to see him in The Stand
Yeah.
as Randall Flagg because I mean he's Randall Flagg. But it would have been
That new
cool to see
movie
him.
with him and Farrell and with the gentleman, that looks fun. That looks good.
Matthew McConaughey won me back after
True Detective.
True Detective season
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
badass
I
in
didn't
that.
like Matthew McConaughey all till I watched that and I was like, dude, this is like a different side of him that I've never seen. That
Right.
and Frailty. That
Because
was a
I
good movie.
I
always
haven't seen that.
took
Oh
I
my
always
God.
looked at Matthew McConaughey like a douchebag. Like he smokes a lot of pot and he's like
Those were all his roles.
just
all right,
lays-
all
Right.
right.
I mean,
The person he portrayed.
Hey,
But
you
like
cool,
no,
man?
he was always playing like bongos and like in real life, just
Bongos.
getting high and playing bongos and is like too loud. You know,
I
like,
liked his caricature version of himself in
Did
Tropic
you not
Thunder.
hear about this? You never
Tropic
heard?
Thunder was awesome.
I
He-
don't know what you're saying.
The cops got called out him because he was playing. He was in his
He was
apartment
playing bongos
smoking
too
weed,
loud?
naked, and he got his neighbors called the police
I
on him because
remember
he was
this,
playing
playing
bongos,
bongos,
too
yeah.
loud.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Huh.
I'm
If I was
bringing you
rich as
guys
hell,
back
I'd
to
do that.
mail.
Oh, sorry.
We don't-
Gun
yeah.
Girl, who might be a stripper, made regular.
Oh, cool.
Just to
Alright.
answer your question, I got a message
Gun
back, so
Girl?
now
Gun girl.
Gun Girl.
Before we go back to anything
Also
else,
an anime.
can we just talk about how John Steinbeck is the worst author ever?
Ooh, your
Who's John
dad
Steinbeck?
I
probably
don't know.
just now
E-
disowned you.
Everybody in the world's only read one of his books.
Who's-
so
and
how-
then read it.
What did he write?
Shut up.
What?
That just
What?
caught me off
Did you
guard.
just have a stroke?
My dad made me wear John Steinbeck novels when I was growing up.
Yeah,
Did you sew together a suit of them?
I think Avery just got disowned for that comment. If Jace hears that, just so you know, say bye to Wolf Kid, y'all.
Well, I think he might have a bigger issue with Rusk on who's John Steinbeck.
What book?
He's an author.
What book?
East of Eden.
Grapes of Wrath,
Never read it.
The
Dude,
Pearl.
I actually have
You
a
don't need to read
copy
Grapes of
of
Wrath,
Grapes
it's
of
fine.
Wrath from like 1963.
It's a boring.
first
It's a boring
edition.
ass book.
Nice.
I got it for 65 cents at a fucking flea market, and I've never like moved it from my desk.
It's like
East of Eden is Jace's
Yeah,
like
never
ultimate
favorite, yeah.
His
favorite
favorite
movie.
book.
Yeah.
It's
Never-
the album.
Are you fucking?
It is that too.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
listen to the.
hey, Insomnia has a East of Eden reference.
Listen to
Stephen
the
Really?
Darkness
That's the
on the
worst
Edge of
book
Town,
ever.
and you don't
no,
even
I've
need
read
to read the
Insomnia,
fucking
but
book.
I haven't
I don't
read
like
East of
Bruce
Eden.
Springsteen.
So I
That's a
don't-
really good album,
Uh,
though.
Yeah, I don't like Springsteen.
Okay,
I
your-
don't know.
your
Dude,
call.
it took me so long to get that through that book. That was like
Because it's not good.
trudging through mud. I was like, I don't fucking care about old people screwing. Could we get
Wait, Old People Screwing. Which book is this?
Insomnia? This is the worst fucking Stephen
Oh, but that's
King book
Stephen
I've
King,
ever
so
read.
I'm not
Only
gonna
like
read
the
it.
first half of it's bad. It
No,
gets good.
No, dude, the ending was too perfect, too wrapped up, too much with a bow on it. I hated it. Couldn't stand it. I fucking hated every minute of it. I only finished it because I was already halfway through. I couldn't stand Ralph Roberts. I couldn't fucking. That's how I read his name. It's me, Ralph Roberts, your neighbor. I couldn't fucking stand him, dude. I could not stand any character in that fucking thing. It was cool. The Dark Tower references were cool, but other than that, I was like, "This is fucking awful, man." I couldn't stand it.
don't-
Hey, it's me, your neighbor, Ralph
I don't know.
Roberts. Ed Deep, no, I'm here to stop you. I got.
Just look for everyone in the yellow coats, okay?
I know. I just read his voice and like Bernie Sanders' voice. Hey, it's me, Ralph Roberts, Ed Deep, no, I'm here to stop you. You can't crash the plane, Ed.
Jace says, fuck you.
To which one?
To probably Avery.
Probably to Insomnia being
East of
terrible,
fucking
'cause-
Eden is the best.
Okay,
Yeah.
East of Eden is awesome, but I'm not talking about John Stein.
Amy is on here too, says, that she loved Insomnia. Isaac needs to OME back.
You need to own back.
I don't
I
know.
don't fucking know. All I know is I'm
When
Ralph,
Jace
I'm
is there.
Ralph Robinson. I'm here to stop you from blowing up the appointment clinic.
It's
I think she's
perfect.
trying to warn you, Isaac, that you're not going to survive Jace talking like that.
He ain't here.
Volume like to half when that conversation happens.
It's not like I don't love every other thing that Stephen King wrote. Okay, I'm just saying that was the one book I was like, I just can't, man. I'm tired of hearing about Ralph and his old girlfriend. I don't care. It was weird. It was. It felt like it was reaching too hard. The part with the Crimson King was cool, but other than that, it didn't land for me.
Do you mainly read, or do you audiobook it?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
I need an audiobook, but I don't know. I fall asleep when I listen to audiobooks.
The worst
I
is-
don't when I read.
The worst is when Stephen King narrates his own stories. That's the worst.
He doesn't have a very attractive voice.
He's got
His voice is, he has a voice for authorship.
There's a narrator who narrated The Talisman, which is like one of my
Peter
favorite books.
Straub.
Yeah, Peter Straub. But I can't remember who narrated it. But
I don't know.
He always talks like this, and like he narrated one of the Dark Tower books. And every time he was about to say the world had moved on, he would pause and go, "He had figured out that the world had moved on."
It's like a wrestling promotion.
So he adds way too much drama to it.
I love it. Don't get me wrong, the books are great, but like sometimes when you
That was
hear
the first one. I think I listened to that one.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, that's him.
Just so you know, Jace has
Second
told
one.
you that you're wrong. Dreamcatcher was the worst of Stephen King's works, in his opinion.
I got a funny story.
I never read that.
That movie was great.
Yeah,
Aliens
movie
in
was
the
good.
asshole.
Yeah.
Eat the dog
Yeah.
turd.
Yeah.
Look at him, he likes it.
He also says that for reals, you need to come back when he's here.
I'll
Oh
come
God.
back. Oh man, yeah, dude. Me and my big brother used to trash that. Fucking
All they're gonna
book.
do is have sex on a Stephen King poster.
Hell
What are
yeah,
we?
bitch.
That's all the show's gonna be.
Oh, I was
Everyone move the
thinking about-
equipment.
I was thinking about
I'll
that.
give you my dark tower.
Oh,
that
Their
Ron
tattoos are
Jeremy
gonna
movie
meet up
guys
like
were
in
talking about.
Constantine.
Have you
The
all
fucking
ever seen?
other half tattoo.
It's gonna be on their legs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
I was
so it's
totally-
gonna be
ahead.
like Tenacious D,
Okay.
Pick of Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my tattoo says Tanakh. Birthmark that says Steven. Oh my god, dude! I was thinking about that Ron Jeremy movie though. Have you all ever seen Orgasmo?
Yes, love that movie.
You remember the scene? Me and my buddies always quote this scene when he's like, "Okay, we're gonna get T-Rex in here." It's like some big bag. But this is what's funny. Trey Parker dubs her voice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So she walks in and she's like, "All right, everybody." Back. Can't even do it. Anyways, she gets up close to him and she goes, "You better make me come. Kick your butt." And she gets on top and she's like, "Ow, ow, come out, fetch me." It's just Trey Parker's voice coming out of this.
That's awesome.
Now is he doing like a Cartman, or is he just doing like a weird
Bro,
Trey
you just
Parker
have
voice?
To, you just have to look at
Dude, if you haven't seen that movie, you have to see that movie.
It
It's
sounds
so
familiar, but I can't
funny.
remember it.
It's Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
You would remember it if you saw it.
And the theme song is "Now You're a Man," you know? And the song is just the best part of the whole movie.
I
Now
might,
you're
I might
a man.
YouTube and see if it's on there for me.
Oh
Their
my
their
God.
songs are usually the best parts of their movies.
Oh
so.
Oh
God.
yeah.
Team America.
Oh, what was it? I was just thinking it the
Like
other day.
every song in that is good.
Sports Trader
Montage is the best one though.
Gonna need a montage. Okay, anyways.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's
so
my favorite part about delivering mail. Honestly, is like I know we're
How did
not
we get to
supposed
what?
Listen.
What?
Hold on,
We just got done talking about
voiced by Trey Parker.
Pretty sure Brian had a T-Rex bitch on his route. The
Yeah.
skin tag lady.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone.
Dude, you would lose your fucking mind.
What do you mean?
She
What? I
had-
think he is.
She had bags of water hung up around her porch because it kept evil spirits away.
Yeah.
Help me, who's Red Dude? Who's Red Dude?
Red dude.
Dune.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Red
I've
Dune.
read
I got you.
Dune.
Yeah.
What's the Baron's name? Harkonnen. Is that what she looks like?
Oh,
She's got like things suspending her fat roll. That's all I can think of when you said skin technique.
yeah. I mean, that's probably
She's got like a
That's who she'll be in
system
the
of wires
in the
holding her back.
apocalypse.
Oh
She doesn't leave her front porch, but she hollers at Brian.
She walks to the liquor store.
She's on Brian's route.
Used to be.
Used to be. And she'd holler at him every time.
Hey, baby.
And she like basically sexually harassed him every day he delivered her stuff because she'd always be on her porch.
I mean, if you can't find a nipple, find a skin
and
tag.
she has dozens of nipples, I guess.
She feeds all the neighborhood children.
She lays down like
actually-
a sow.
Yeah.
It's just
And all the neighborhood kids run up and they're all pushing each other out of the way and shit.
Oh man.
Russ is over looking for fan art.
It's so bad.
Shit, man. No, but I was gonna say, that's the best part about delivering mail for me is like audiobooks and shit like that. Like I got through so many audiobooks.
I need to do that. I'm running out of podcasts to listen to,
Yeah, I listen.
and
to No Sleep
audiobooks are a good
lot.
backup.
I love listening to audiobooks. I tried listening to Pet Cemetery because I read Pet Cemetery 3 times in my life, and I was like, oh, I'll read it again. I'll listen to the audiobook. I can't get past the part where Gabe and his
I never
dad,
read it.
Well, they pull.
I never saw the movie.
They
I don't.
pulled
That's
it-
one of the stories that's just always missed me.
They pull the kite out of the closet, and you know what's about to happen. You're just like, man, I can't listen to this. I can't listen to a 2-year-old die.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Can't, but like it's on. You just hit the button and you move the book forward.
I don't want to think about a child dying, dude. It bothers me.
So you
My
just
son
quit
was
the
like-
story entirely.
Yeah, because my son was like that age when I
Mm.
started listening to it, and I was like, I can't do this, man. I was thinking about Gabe. And I
Make
think
me
of my
depressed
son.
on the route, and I'll be like crying while I'm handing people their stuff.
Like Joey and Friends, he reads a horror story and he puts a book in a freezer because he can't read it anymore. It's too scary.
Well, that's why that show's awful.
It is a bad show.
I've
I'm glad,
friends.
I'm
Ryan,
glad they
I
took it
don't
off
know.
Netflix.
My favorite thing is when I'm screaming at my wife on the phone, and I just hand somebody their mail, and I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about.
a good book to listen to is World War Z from Audible. It's professionally voice acted.
Ooh,
Like
I love
every
that book.
It's got Mark Hamill, Nathan Fillion
Nice.
in it.
Nice. I like both of them.
The bitch that from the Last Jedi that blew her own ship. She
Jay-
rammed her ship. She penetrated the other
Oh,
ship.
the moth or the
yeah, the lady,
the main lady.
She's like famous and like in other shit, but like I don't give a fuck.
It was in Last
I
Jedi.
can't think of her fucking name.
I don't know her name either.
I hate that movie.
She's in that.
It's a terrible movie.
Who like it's a huge list. Like
Did you watch the new one?
Maj Jobrani is in it.
It's
He's
okay.
like a
That's
famous
what I
voice
heard.
It's
actor.
okay. It's worth a watch.
But like Mark Hamill's in it, and like I couldn't pick up on Mark Hamill until like it was like reading the credits, and it was like Mark Hamill, and I'm like, hold on,
because his voice, he's like one of the best voice actors.
Yep.
I think.
right?
I don't think he plays the Joker in Mortal Kombat 11, but it sounded a lot like him, and it's funny how he became the standard
I know.
for how the Joker should sound.
Yeah.
It's true too. It's
I
like
mean, he crushed it in the
Kevin-
cartoon, man.
Yeah,
He
Kevin
did.
He
Conroy,
fucking crushed it.
He
Kevin
did.
Conroy and Mark Hamill are Batman and the Joker to me.
Yeah.
I grew up in that era.
Did you see The Joker, like the movie?
Yes, I loved it.
Was
It
so
was
good.
it was great. Yeah.
You guys still haven't seen it, have you?
I have not.
Yeah,
Dude.
I've seen it.
Oh, you
Fucking
have.
amazing.
It's so good.
It's gonna win some awards.
It
in
did.
theaters.
He won. He won.
But I mean the Oscars.
Oh, the actual Oscars.
'Cause
I was
think
gonna say
that's
he
in
won.
February.
Because I keep telling my dad to watch it, and he's like, "It's gonna have like it's gonna be a twist, and like everybody's not gonna see it." But like,
No,
there's
it wasn't
one
a
twist
twist.
you see coming, and you're like, "Oh, I saw that coming," and then like I've like listened to stuff on
It's
it.
not about the twist. It's
Yeah.
just about watching the story. Like
Okay, hold on.
you could even know exactly what was going to happen
You
in
knew
that
what was
movie,
gonna happen the
and
whole
it would
time.
still be
And
really
it's a
good.
great,
All right.
refreshing take on the Joker.
Story time. Watching this movie, my son's sitting downstairs with me. My wife's like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't watch this with him in the room." And of course, he goes, "How about another joke, Murray?" And my
Yeah.
son immediately after it happens, my
Okay.
son immediately turns around and goes, "Pew."
Oh
Nice.
shit!
like,
Oh shit!
unprompted, like nothing. I didn't tell him to do it. My wife's just like, oh crap, we shouldn't let him watch this.
Did you see him on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, Jimmy
Where
Fallon.
he goes, "You only invited me on here to make fun
Yeah.
of me," and Jimmy Fallon was like,
How about another Joker? eh?
"It was pretty good."
That was the best
He
part of the whole movie.
plays the
though.
role so
He does.
well.
That was
He
the
is-
best part of the whole movie.
And he's
love
always been a real hit and miss actor with me. Like I've loved him in certain things, and then I've just thought he was just terrible in them. But like this, he was great.
I can't think
Gladiator,
of
he was
anything I didn't
amazing.
like him in. Right? Like he's been
Gladiator.
amazing for 20 years.
I mean,
He was really good in
I've
that
liked
movie
most-
where
more of his stuff
he
than I
was
haven't.
like in love with a computer or whatever.
yeah.
Her.
No, that wasn't Joaquin, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Joaquin.
That was him.
I thought. Oh, okay.
He looks different in every movie he's in.
Mhm. Which
It's like
is
him and
kind of weird when you consider
Commissioner
that
Gordon.
He also looks the same. in
Commissioner
every-
Gordon's actor's name.
Oh, Gary.
Gary, yeah.
Oldman.
He's the same way, man. Just dives
Dracula.
into that role.
He's
Oh
one of
my
my
God.
all-time favorite actors.
Yeah, he's
Same.
fantastic.
He's
Fifth Element.
incredible.
Best.
Fifth
Yeah,
Element.
Fifth Element.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
We were just talking about like sci-fi movies.
The
that-
Professional is one of my favorite movies ever, and he's
Leon.
in that. Leon, yeah.
where the book he actually has.
And he's so good in that movie.
Yeah. Just a point here. The book, The Professional, he actually does have a relationship with the young girl.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
And I also heard that they shot some scenes that got cut from the movie.
Good thing.
I don't like it's irrelevant to the story. You understand enough watching what's there
Yeah.
to get the relationship.
Yeah. It's very odd.
They need to make like a sequel where it's exactly however many years it's been from then
How old
till
is The
now,
Professional?
and it's about Natalie Portman, and she would be whatever age she would be in because it's been the same number of
And
years.
then she picks up a young boy, and then they have a relationship.
Well, no,
I mean, I'd watch that.
has some reason to be an assassin, I guess,
I'm just kidding.
with a plant because
It's-
you have to have a plant.
It's a badass movie, though.
It is.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, if you guys don't have a story, I do have from Brian a call.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot we
Play
had a
it.
call from Brian.
I have my
Is
phone
it from
hooked up,
Brian
too.
or is this?
He put it in Slack and said for
no,
the
this
show.
is that voicemail that he put in there.
Oh, I didn't play that.
I didn't either. So
I did.
we'll all be equally surprised.
Well, me and you will be, and Isaac.
As long as we can
And
hear.
Avery.
Let's see. if
Avery's
I-
always surprised.
Nope. That's not it.
That's our closeout music. Well, it's been a good show, guys.
Good job. Good job, Brian. You know, you
Good
were
talk.
playing that on, or
If you want to say something on the show, please be on the show.
that was no. Hold on, that was Brian's
no
intro
shit.
music because he can't say anything anymore without having some intro
That's
music
true.
before.
So, Isaac, have you ever listened to any of the audiobooks by Larry Correia?
No.
So he's got he's got a shit ton of books out there, but
Larry
one that I've been
Correia?
listening to,
I know it sounds made up.
Larry Correia.
Like
Uh,
Korea.
it's not
Korea.
spelled the same,
Oh,
but he
okay.
pronounces it the same.
Okay.
It's called the Grimoire Chronicles. The first book is Hard Magic. It's like an 18-hour audiobook.
The longer the better, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I always
So
go for the big
Bron-
ones.
Bronson
Cut that.
Pinchot, Bronson Pinchot, however you pronounce it, the dude who
Ah.
played Balky.
Oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
the guy who reads it. It's fucking phenomenal. Highly recommend it if you're into those audiobooks.
I'm actually wanting to check out Discworld too.
I love Discworld
Terry
books.
Pratchett.
Yeah,
Terry Pratchett's good.
I
yeah.
love Terry Pratchett.
I haven't listened to any of the audiobooks. Actually, I take that back. I do have a couple of them.
I can't find
I
the
forgot
first
about
one, but
those.
I heard the first one was. Some people don't like the
So
first one.
the Light Fantastic and Color of Magic.
Right.
So they've actually BBC did live action
oh, that's
of those
cool.
that were actually really good. You can still find them. I think they might actually be on Netflix.
I'm gonna check that out, dude. 'Cause
They're
I've been wanting to get into those. And Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman did Good Omens,
Yep.
which is like one of my favorite all-time books.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. Sorry,
It's all right.
I keep bending back, but yeah, I love Good Omens, and I was like, man, I want to see what else Terry Pratchett's done because I've read a lot of Neil Gaiman's comic books and I've read a lot of his books. I love American Gods. I thought it was awesome, but yeah, I've never read anything else by Terry Pratchett. So I've always been like, oh, he does this Discworld series. I need to check this out.
yeah, that's a deep dark hole that you can find yourself falling down. It's a really good series.
Well, I always seen like quotes from Death and from Discworld. And I was like, this seems like a kind of goofy, kind of whimsical thing. I want to check this out because Terry Pratchett kind of seems like he's real goofy.
Yeah, I highly recommend read a couple of the books before you listen to the audio.
Yeah, I was going to pick him up actually. I almost did that yesterday when I was in the area. I was in Barnes and
Oh.
Noble area. And what's up?
Sorry, I heard the voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go.
okay.
It started when it loaded.
week's show, but I've been telling you guys this for years. Fucking years. Brian is a hipster. Done
Yeah.
deal.
We've never disagreed. You're not wrong, sir.
That is the whole voicemail.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was,
That's literally the
I
whole
believe that
voicemail.
was because of his plugging of the coffee thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
He drinks that. What's it called? Death Wish.
Death Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee that's like $15 for a tiny bag. 'cause
At
it's
K. Rogers, it's like
super
$22 a
caffeinated
fucking
or
bag.
something.
It's
stupid.
His whole lifestyle's changed, man. Once he's dropped the craft, he's a completely different person.
He's been drinking that Death Wish coffee for a year now or two.
Maybe it's affecting him the same way Aloe is affecting Avery. He's just showing it outwardly different.
Hey, there's a lot of things causing my deterioration.
Avery,
Don't
Avery
blame it all
came
on
in-
Aloe.
Avery-
I think it's more genetic than
Is
it
it
is.
because I moved out and now I can smoke pot on a whim? Yes.
I think that
Because
has,
I can eat whatever I want? Yes.
No, it's the
I think it
Diva
has
Suit
something.
thing.
I was just about to say it has to be a
Sorry.
Diva Suit, dude.
The Diva Suit's new. It's a side effect, not,
You just
not
walk
a
in,
cause.
you just walk into your girlfriend's room and you're like, nerf this. And she's like,
She's like,
"It's already
oh
been
shit.
done." Already been nerfed.
You laugh, but I got like 4 new followers that night.
You did it on stream?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
and you
why
didn't get
else would I
taken
buy it?
down?
No, I wasn't. My ass did rip out of it. while I
Wait a
was
minute,
taking
that
it
was
down.
a.
Oh my god.
No, that was a picture, and then I streamed in it.
What did you stream?
It wasn't Overwatch. I think
I
it was
was-
Halo.
That
Why?
makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Why would you do?
Because I wanted to play Halo. It's not about. I just wanted to look good.
Luckily, when you're,
Avery. I don't think
not
there
like
is
a
a
pro
why.
streamer, you can play whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for some of those streamers sometimes because I'm like,
Because
God, dude.
because all the money they make. I know. Tell me about it.
Well, it's not that, but like, how shitty must that be? You're like, God damn. Like, Summit 1G, one day he like broke down on stream. He was like, he was playing Fortnite. He was like, how do you motherfuckers play this game so often? He's like, I can't stand it. And I'm like, that would suck.
It's like the ones that get stuck playing Minecraft 24/7.
Yeah,
'cause
but that's
their
a game
thing.
you can play all day.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
it's
kinda,
not. This, yeah.
I mean, talk about a game you could chill and smoke some weed and just.
Yeah, it's not as.
Right, it's
Boring
like,
as
listen,
fuck
Minecraft.
to me.
It's like it's relaxing almost. Like me
I
and my
played-
wife play together.
I played
It's fun.
Terraria. Did you play Terraria?
No.
I did.
I did.
That game was awesome.
So
Minecraft's
but
good too.
for
I like-
some reason,
I have been known to spend.
putting it into a 3D plane,
I
it
spent
just it
8
doesn't.
hours on
well, you lose track of
Terraria
time too. It's just
trying to
gone.
mine it out just so I could drain the ocean.
That's
The-
pretty, see,
8 hours.
It's
of nothing
doable.
but fucking
It's
mining.
doable.
I'm actually thinking about after this. I might go buy Kakarot,
My
What?
son just got that for the Xbox One.
dude. It
It-
actually looks all right.
What is it?
It's the new Dragon Ball
Kakarot.
game.
It's like an
Oh.
open world, free range fighter.
Yeah,
It looks pretty cool.
it looks
but,
better
Non-GMO.
than the Xenoverses and the stuff
But
that's based
let's
off
just
of. But
Open world like MMO.
no,
no.
no. It's
I
like
wish.
an RPG. You level up your characters and stuff. But here's the thing. Somebody brought up a good point about that. They were
On
like,
a Dragon Ball
Did
game.
you
I
see
might
somebody
check it
modded
out.
the Untitled Goose Game Duck into the
no, it's
into
like,
that as a
It's a
fighter?
goose.
Yeah.
But the thing is like,
Look.
and I had to agree with them on this one. How many times have you seen the first 6 seasons of Dragon Ball Z? Too many to even count.
0.
Dude, I've owned them since I was like 13 years old. And I'm now 30, so probably at least watched them once a year for 17 years. At least once a year. I watched all 6. At least up to the Cell
Crazy
Saga.
to me.
No, that's about right.
Yeah.
Is there-
It's hard not to. Sometimes
Has
there's
anybody
reruns
ever
come on.
made like a condensed one that cuts out all the fighting?
They
and
Yeah,
have,
they
it's
did
called
Kai.
Dragon Ball Z
Build up.
Kai, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it 16 minutes long?
They cut out a lot of faff in that. They did.
Well, it's like watching Naruto, and it's like
I just skipped the fillers, man.
you hear the sad music in Naruto, and you're like, oh, here comes another fucking flashback. And it's like, how many times I've seen this fight? How many more times are you all going to flash back to it? I get it. I
You know
get
what I'm
it.
stuck on now? My Hero Academia.
Yeah, full counting 100%,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, yeah.
Boom.
He was
And then,
just
we're
talking
so
about that
nerdy.
show on the way here.
And
Yeah,
then
buddy.
Black Clover. I've been real into Black
Yeah,
Clover.
I, of
I'm-
course,
I'm-
had no idea
I'm
what
a
the fuck he
huge
was
fan
talking about.
Of Cowboy Bebop. It's like
Well, that's a good one, but that's
It's also
not-
old
You can't
as
really.
shit and
Dude,
doesn't,
I got,
they don't
I
make
got
anymore.
a Funko Pop.
That's what I mean.
It's
You
the
can't
scene where
compare that
Vicious
to
is on top
anything
of
because
Spike
it's
with
like
the knife.
Firefly.
It's like,
Yeah.
see
It did
it.
one
I'm
season.
keeping
Don't
it
bring
in
it
the
up.
box. I didn't
I
even
know,
know
it's
where
pretty
it
pretty
was.
cool.
Oh, it's badass, dude. That live action is coming out soon too.
Yeah, I heard. Isn't Harold from Harold
Yeah.
Moore playing the guy?
Yep, he is.
I could see that,
Yeah, I can too.
and I'm glad they made it like an Asian actor
Although Spike can be interpreted.
as white. I
As
get
white,
it, but
yeah.
like I don't know. Typically, when I look at anime like created in Japan, like I'm always like, that should be an Asian guy. He may be.
Yeah, but they always drew it in such a way that it could have been a white. Like it's the reader was
Right.
unsure a lot of the times
So-
to appeal to a bigger audience.
Are we
They
placing
did the same thing in
Yeah.
video games, like how Cloud in
None of
Final
those are the main
Fantasy
character, though.
VII could have been Japanese, or he could have been a white
But are
dude.
we going to place bets on whether or not it's going to be another abortion like Last Airbender?
Probably.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna be good. It's not
Wait.
gonna be amazing, but like it's gonna be okay.
Everybody thought The Witcher was gonna be trash too. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something, pal.
But The Witcher was not done as a movie; it's
You
done
didn't
as
say
a
anything.
miniseries.
Yeah, but the Cowboy Bebop's gonna be. A
Is that going to be a
miniseries.
miniseries too? Okay.
I
They
think
might actually
is
do it
Netflix
right then.
doing that?
Is it going to be a
It might be all right then. If Cowboy Bebop,
retelling of the show, or is it going to be like
It's a retelling.
new?
It's a retelling.
Huh.
What I want to see though, for real, more than anything in the world, is a good Berserk anime. And the guy that made Castlevania, I think Netflix did a poll the other day that was like talking about, how you'd feel about a Berserk anime on Netflix, and it got like huge numbers, and they're trying to acquire rights to it. That guy would be
I
doing.
mean, if
it.
you get anybody, the
That's
guy doing
sweet.
Castlevania
He's
should
doing
do it.
that and Devil May Cry.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
Devil May Cry one will be good.
That might be good.
Speaking of the guy doing Castlevania, have you played that Bloodstained game?
I
So
fucking
good.
love
So
Bloodstained.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I beat
It's
it.
on Xbox
It's
Game
good.
Pass too. if
it
you
is.
ever- yeah.
No, that's why I've been playing it. And I was
Bloodstained
talking. I was
Ritual
talking to
Night.
him about it,
Is it good?
and it's
Yeah.
it's
Amazing.
good. It's just it feels like it try. There are two things I don't like about it. It tries way too hard to be
Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night.
That's not a bad
Because
thing.
it feels like you're playing the exact same fucking game. And I played Symphony of the Night,
Night.
so many times. It's one of the best games ever made.
Play
I
it once
just
a year.
this is like
Did you guys ever play Aria of Sorrow? That was my like second favorite.
Is that the
No.
Game Boy one?
It was.
It was, and like you could get you could steal the powers from the creatures.
That was decent. Yeah.
Right now, I'm in the middle of Mirror of Fate. So
Okay.
and then the
It's
other
hard to
thing
go wrong with any
I
Castlevania.
like Lords of Shadow too.
Lords of Shadow's good, but it's not a Castlevania game to me.
Lords of
y'all-
Shadow
y'all-
2 though.
y'all are all
if,
wrong.
I never played
if
2.
there was no stealth shit,
I
in
don't
that
like
game,
the
it would've been
3D
amazing.
But see, I like the
Castlevanias.
Mirror of Fate because it feels
that's
like
what
the old
Bloodstained is,
school
though.
Castlevania.
No, the
as
3D like
opposed
moving
to
around.
that
No, Bloodstained's
Oh,
not
you
even.
mean the actual
three-dimensional,
3D?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
action
Bloodstained's like
game.
2.5D.
Yeah, yeah. That's still side scrolling.
Anyway, the bosses in that game suck ass.
Yeah, they're.
Two of them you can beat by getting behind them and just swinging over and over until they die.
Have you beaten the game?
Have you
No.
played? Hold on, have you played
I've
Dark
I've
Souls?
gotten the bad ending.
Have
Let's
you
just
gotten the
roll.
upside down?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That really fucks the game up when you can flip everything upside down.
One Symphony of the Night.
No, Bloodstain. It's a power you acquire.
You talking about the one where you reverse gravity?
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't have that, but I'm in the hidden desert right now, so I'm basically like one boss
You're not-
before that guy.
I remember Dark Souls 3. I think it's like the first or second boss. It's like Vort or whatever. He was like the dude on all fours. Spent like 10 hours trying to beat him. Couldn't figure it out. I was playing Mercenary. It was my first time playing like a Dark Souls game like seriously as well.
I almost beat the game in 10 hours.
Well, it probably wasn't 10 hours, but it was like I spent
I'm just
time on
messing.
it. And then I realized if I just kept rolling
Probably,
into his
though.
torso, like clipping into it like just this in space, couldn't hit me.
Just go get the Thorn armor and do that over and over and over until he dies.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to beat the guy though to get the Thorn armor.
Yeah, probably not. But like I eventually got pretty good at it.
I'm just messing.
That's a lot of the game.
On people who are worse at a game than him.
More
There's
specific-
literally nothing in this world
More
he loves
specifically
more than
Dark
doing
Souls.
that. And the
Sitting on-
harder the game is, the
Fair.
more he loves doing it.
More specifically, Dark Souls. If you suck at Dark Souls, I'll shit on you about it.
I've gotten a lot, but like I can, I haven't played it in a few months, but like I could repel almost anybody that ever invaded me.
That's my,
I
that's my
suck at
favorite thing
Dark
to do is
Souls.
just wait for people to invade me in the area. There's like a boss. He's got the I can't remember what area it is. It's this big giant courtyard. Anyways, this is my favorite place to PvP because I would just knock people off the side over and over and over.
You're one of those players.
Yeah, I was like level 200 and something because I outscaled everything like an idiot. You're supposed to stay like level 120. You're not supposed to like go over that really. You're supposed to lock your XP. Otherwise, you can't find matchups and stuff. They try
Yeah.
to match, So basically, I would just sit around that area and invade people or wait for people to invade me.
Who's here?
no, I just heard a car
They
door.
probably just got home.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Hang on.
So anyway,
What the fuck?
He did it.
One show I missed, you motherfuckers spend the whole show talking about Stephen King.
sir, you need to sit on the couch. We have no chairs available for you.
We do actively try to keep him from talking Stephen King, though.
Why?
Like, he'll bring up a book, and then we'll get off that topic fairly quickly. I think it's because Brian's usually
Well,
here.
usually after he realizes that nobody
Brian's
else
never usually
that's
here.
there has read the book that he's talking about, he just
That's
kinda
true.
stops, yeah.
It's all right, dude. I'm here now.
I think Jason.
You have a fellow fan in the
I think
room
Jason
now.
found his long lost son.
I think we talked about it briefly, and then I finally read the books, and I was like,
Yeah, he'll
these
trade
books
him
are
in for a
fucking
newer model.
amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm not too much lost there.
But yeah,
What's up, Papa? How you doing, man? Good day? Good weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a mic. Stop addressing me.
Well, we're at the end of the show anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to
when
ignore
he
you, but you
opened
keep
the door,
fucking
I was
yelling.
literally about to hit the
Oh,
closing
yeah. She
music,
was about
and then
to hit
that
the
door
closing
just
music
pops
when
the
you
fuck
busted in
open.
Kool-Aid Man style.
What's that?
We should have
Oh,
ended the show
yeah.
while we could.
But I got to piss, so we got to wrap it up anyway.
Put on the wrap it up music.
Yeah.
The wrap it up music.
Who's
making
wrapping
no
it up?
Sounds now.
Shut
Jazz
it
is.
down.
He should have. Not you. The guy behind you.
I couldn't have figured that one out.
There is no wrap it up music now. It won't make the noises anymore.
Uh-oh.
I broke it.
Oh, here come waves.
Waves are happening.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
fixed it.
us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just there.
thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week, same time, same channel. Join us on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button if you're a Prime member. It doesn't cost you anything.
Why did you do this? Let Jazz do it.
But she was trying
He's
to find the
doing
music.
good.
I was doing fine.
I did the open. He can do the close.
But
I don't know. He told me when I got here he was running the whole damn show.
I was gonna try to, but
Oh,
then you
wow.
took my seat.
Oh, because the seat makes a difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Does it? Does it really?
But
You want to come sit on my lap?
Again.
no.
I would like to see one more meat flock before we break the show off.
But yeah, that was a
Derail them entirely.
that was a meat
Come
flock
on,
has
Cap,
to be
take
this.
us out.
No. You said meat flock.
Come on.
But yep, join us again next week, and we'll see you all then. Hit it.
Hit it.